Howdy, howdy. How is everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's having a good Thursday. It's been a busy one for me. Oh my, this whole week. This whole week has been nuts. Just having to... This is a taste. This is a taste of what my life would be like as an absolute bachelor, and I would be just fucking more scattered than I usually am, if you can believe that. I'm like running to do dishes right before the stream starts and trying to get pets taken care of, and oh god, this, that, and the other thing. I think this was her plan. Take off for a week, and then she comes back and I'm gonna be all super fucking grateful for just every little thing. Well, I'll tell you what, it's gonna work. Shit. How we doing today, folks? Rolling. Good to see no storm report entry for you tonight. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Here we have to Square, and a very good evening to you. Ren, Momo, how you doing? It's been a little while. Forgot wrong. I feel you there, man. I think you've been doing more than I have. I almost forgot I was streaming today. I've been in ZBrush all day. I'm learning how to do tiled alpha patterns by creating some of my own out of assets that I create in Fusion and port over and then modify, and God, it's still like I'm getting better at it, but it's ZBrush, I swear to God, was made by aliens. It was not made by human beings. It's so powerful and so fucking confusing sometimes, but I'm learning the tools that I need. I've been saying this for like 6 months. But I've been basically just teaching myself how to use this software for the last year. And maybe I'll eventually make something worth having out of it. Well, it's not true. I have made a number of things in it that I think are worthwhile, but I got so many ideas, and I'm so tired of the bottleneck of those ideas being like, I don't know how to use the tools. Like, that's stupid. That's a stupid problem to have. So we are fixing it. And as a reminder, folks, for those of you who are contributing to the Storm Report today, it is now 1 per person. By the next stream, we should have some guidelines put up for how you can get more entries in any given Storm Report. And we will be closing entries for the Storm Report at the end of this section that I'm doing right here, which one of my mods noted I've been calling this section the Forecast for like 5 months in my overlay and in my head and in all my assets, and I've never actually put that on the overlay. So I said something to one of them like, oh, we'll end it after the forecast. And they were like, what the fuck is that? I should probably get on that. But after my little intro segment here where I usually drink a cup of coffee and talk about what we're going to be doing and complain about whatever I watched on TV last night, we're going to be closing the entries, and then we get to it towards the end of the night. We'll take a look at what y'all have gotten posted since last stream. You still do have since the previous stream to get everything posted in, so hopefully that'll be enough time. Ooh, that's exciting, Ren. Hope you guys have fun. 4 hours detaching and then reattaching a marble island topper. God, this, ugh. It sounds heavy and sticky. I don't like either of those things. Neither one. Oh, time stop. This is my it's the meme. It's even got a little Joker fish, but it's Batman. I thought this was a funny shirt. It'll be funny for like a little while longer, and then everyone will forget that this meme was a thing, and by then maybe the print will have worn out, so it's right in the trash. No, Roland. We are still doing the Storm Report at the usual time. We're just narrowing when submissions are permitted and how many. That's all. That's all that's changing for right now. We might make some more changes in the future. But for right now, I think we're happy with where it is. And that's only because we've had a few that have gone for like I've spent a long night painting, and we get to it and I look and I'm like, this is going to take me 2 hours. And a few times it has. But you know, this is just a symptom of more people wanting to participate, and I want to give everybody their chance, and I want to have it so that I've got enough time to talk about each entry, because I feel bad anytime an entry comes up and I'm like, it looks great, good job, and I move on in like 10 seconds. Sometimes I have to. The good old days. Yeah, a lot has changed. A lot has changed, Roland. Also, welcome in Colonel Matthew Steiner, one of the worst weeks in years. Oh, shit. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, hopefully the stream perks you up some, man. Project Dark Fox hitting that 19 months. Bring me the heads of my enemies, and I may yet be merciful. Yes. Yes, indeed. Project Dark Fox, thank you so much for those 19 months, man. Is there a way for me to just set people to be, like, auto-subscribed without having to pay for it? Like, I know they do that automatically for the bot, but I feel bad sometimes when my mods resub. I'm like, you shouldn't have to subscribe just to not have to watch commercials for the stream you mod on. Hey, Hardy1247, how you doing today, man? It's good to see you. Do I have anything I need to do prep-wise on my desk today? I usually do during this section. I think I'm pretty well ready to go. I was doing some oil painting last night, so my palette is only about half used. I think I have all the colors out that I want to use. I think I got all the brushes out. I ordered a new set of nylon brushes from, chicken wings. I'm gonna do gyros tonight. I'll tell you the one thing in this last week that I have impressed myself with. I have been cooking for myself successfully after going several years, I realized, without, like, doing one-off meals for myself every now and then. But I've been hitting the grill. I've been grilling steaks. I've been grilling burgers. I've been making myself fucking gyros. I put a pizza in the oven the other. Okay, that's not very impressive. But I've been making food for myself, and I've actually eaten pretty well. Yeah, I haven't starved to death. This is the one thing we expected would happen. I also haven't starved any of the animals to death. So far, so good. We're halfway there. Nice, Hardy. Very, very nice. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Last 5 episodes of Shield Hero, along with Star Wars Visions. Yeah, the people are talking about Star Wars Visions now. That's another one. I don't know if I'm gonna... I mean, I guess I got Disney Plus. Like, I might as well watch it, right? Do I have anything better to do with my time, really? You know what I did last night? I'm gonna tell you, I'm ashamed of it, and I didn't make it all the way through. Okay, I watched 2 movies last night, because I've just been putting stuff on, because there's no one in the house for me to talk to. Like, I'm just putting movies on. I already put shows on in the background when I'm working, when I'm doing stuff, but I've just been putting more movies on, because I've had a lot more quiet time. First of all, I watched a movie called Lake Mungo, which, if you are a fan of creepy movies, and I don't mean jump scare movies, because there's not a single fucking jump scare in this entire movie, just creepy. Because, like, everything in this movie, it's just like, it's a mockumentary style Australian film, so it's lots of headshots and close-ups and people talking to the camera about their experiences, and then it's just like still images and grainy recordings of creepy shit. And it's like a girl drowns swimming near a dam, and then a family starts to experience weird things in their home, and it's documenting what happened to them, and it's not real. It's a mockumentary. But yeah, some creepy shit. Hardy knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, that final frame. I wasn't, because they get you with that one too, because it's like she's walking, she got her phone, and you're like, what is that? Do I see? Is there a thing? It's all grainy. Is there a shape? Oh, what the? Oh my god! Like you're leaning into the screen, and then it freezes, and you're like, oh Jesus! Oh no! This makes me very the whole movie was very unsettling, and I really it had a good end too, which movies like that never have a good ending. I was pretty impressed by it. Don't have to watch Visions, but as a weeb, I'm afraid I guess they'll come, like, revoke your weeb card if you don't watch Visions, right? I've heard good things. I've heard good things so far. I'm sure it's good. Hey, that's something, Kurosawa. Yeah, let Bezos foot the fucking bill, right? A lot of Kurosawa influence? It is somewhat intriguing. I should give that a try, Square. I don't know if I have the ingredients for it. I'll take a look. Maybe I do. So yeah, I watched Lake Mungo. It's great. If you like creepy movies, go find Lake Mungo. What did I watch it on? What did I watch it on? Did I either rented it on Prime. It was either free on Amazon Prime or I rented it for like $2 on Amazon Prime. I can't remember which one. She has Time Stop. She has, and I'm actually a good cook when I put my mind to it and when I've been doing it for a little while. It's just that I stopped at a certain point. I like good food, and I'm willing to put in the time and the effort to make really good food. And I don't want to use the word cook, I can prepare some mean sushi. That's something I picked up when I was a teen, is just getting nice, fresh fish and doing lots of little complex preparations. And that's all about the presentation and having the right ingredients. Fuck yeah, Ren, glad to hear it. But yeah, okay. If you like creepy movies, and I mean good creepy movies, I mean unsettling movies that don't rely on any jump scares at all. Because, I mean, Hardy, yeah, you saw Lake Mungo. You know, one of the scariest images in the entire movie is not of a ghost at all. It's like halfway through the movie, and there's like one thing where it's like, look at the creepy thing, and then you re-examine it later, and there's something completely different in the frame that was there the whole time that you just didn't notice because there was the creepy thing. And you're like, oh my god, it's so much creepier! It was really well done. I really like that one. And then I thought to myself, how bad was Alien Resurrection really? It's real fucking bad. It's real fucking bad. I don't know what I was thinking. Exactly. I guess I thought, like, well, I already don't care about it, so having it on in the background while I work is no big deal. I'm not really going to pay any attention to it. It was... Yeah, Hereditary is a great movie also, Hardy. I think that Hereditary, I mean, obviously Hereditary had a lot more money behind it. It's a much bigger production. The special effects are better. Hereditary's a great movie, though. And yeah, it had images like that in Hereditary where you're like, ooh, I think I'm seeing what's supposed to creep me out, but oh, there's another thing! And like, it doesn't jump out at you. The soundtrack doesn't go, like, oh, there's a scary thing. You know, it's not like It Chapter 2 where it's like, oh, there's a clown running at the screen and there's a loud sound. Oh my god, be scared. Like, shit boring as hell. But like when the mom was on the ceiling in Hereditary, like you have this slow pan up to the corner of the room and there's just like this shape in the corner. And it takes you a minute because there's other things going on the screen that you're paying attention to, and then you're just like, oh, Jesus. Oh, this is awful. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. Oh, Ren, we've been playing Fireteam Elite. Yeah, you should jump on the Discord server, man. We got a good handful of people who've been playing Fireteam Elite on the fairly regular. Alien Resurrection's fucking awful. I forgot how bad it was. Even Sigourney Weaver should be fucking ashamed of herself. It's what the fuck was going on? It has like one scene in the whole movie that's worth half a shit, and it's the creepy clone scene. And it's like, while the scene itself is effective and creepy, its existence within the context of the story is nonsense. It's like, well, this shouldn't be happening because I don't know what the fuck you're doing with the plot. But if I forget about the fact that everything here is fundamentally stupid, the actual imagery and the emotional hit of it is decently done. But, like, even the design of the xenomorphs is wrong in that fucking movie. Even the design, like, they're all... like, I think they only built the head because you never see anything more than the head. And it's all these close-ups of the head, and it kind of goes and wobbles around like this, and it's like they all breathe smoke for some reason. And then everything else is CG, and it's bad CG, and it has not aged well. It all looks so fucking stupid. And for some reason, Brad Dourif is in the movie, and I don't know why. And the dialogue, just the... I'm not going to go on about it. I'm not going to go into details. It made me sad. Watching the movie made me feel bad inside. Like I had done something wrong. And on some level, I feel like it's like in the movies when they lock away some ancient evil, or like in Nightmare on Elm Street where the kids, you know, successfully forget about Freddy Krueger for a while, and then that one thing comes along and it reminds them, and they're like, oh yeah, Freddy Krueger, yeah, that fucking guy, and then, you know, he comes back.
Here at Thunderhead Studio, we specialize in turning your shame into more shame.
That's exactly what happened. I feel like Freddy's back, and it's gonna take me time to process this bullshit out of my head. School play of Alien that Weaver went to? Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out. That sounds fun. Straight up said no to the movie. They mentioned afterwards that they paid her bonkers money. So, I mean, it's obvious she didn't give a fuck. The lines that they gave her were so terrible. Her entire character was nonsense. And I've heard the explanations. You go, oh, well, it's not Ripley. It's a clone of Ripley. That's why she acts like a fucking edgelord weirdo, and I don't care. Okay, but fuck that movie, because I watched one more movie today earlier. I put it on when I was doing some laundry, and then I stopped doing laundry and made myself some lunch so I could just sit down to watch the rest of it. I watched a movie called The Belko Experiment. I'm not sure how I feel about that one yet. It's kind of a standard battle royale scenario where it's like there's a bunch of people and they work in an office building in Colombia for an American company, and they show up to work one day and all the native workers are turned away for some reason, and the American workers are let in, and there's all these new security guards checking under their cars, and they're like, was there a bomb threat or something? What's going on? And they go into their office, and then it's the standard battle royale scenario. A mysterious voice is like, you are now locked into the building. You must kill 2 people in the next 30 minutes or there will be consequences. So it's, you know, y'all have to kill each other as part of some sick game in order to survive. I think I watched it because I just got done watching Squid Game, which was okay. Squid Game, I think, is better than the Belko Experiment, but Squid Game's also about 7 hours too long for what it is, because it's a show with 9 episodes, and that premise ran thin so fast. It's entertaining. If you're into the battle royale, murder game type shit, I think Squid Game is worth watching. It's better than it looks, if I got it wrong, because it looks real stupid. It's actually pretty clever. It does a lot of games that you wouldn't expect. Usually those are like, oh, you gotta play tag, and if you get tagged, you explode. They only really have 1 or 2 games like that when they play Red Light, Green Light, which I think is the first one that has like the biggest body count. People are just getting off left and right. But they play other games like Marbles to see who has to die, which is well, it's not even marbles. They give them a bunch of marbles and they go, make up a game and play it, and whoever wins gets to live. And it's like, wait, what the fuck? It's not even shit you would think would be particularly entertaining. They've got a pretty cool sequence where they play tug of war to the death that actually had some pretty cool stuff in it. I think that if you like the genre, which it's kind of a genre, it's within the horror genre, the battle royale concept with lots of social commentary, I think that Squid Game is worth watching. It definitely tortures its metaphors to the point that by the end they're so on the nose, you're just like, just fucking end it already. And it does end with kind of like a teaser for a second season that felt really inappropriate, but it was well done the whole way through, and the gore was pretty excellent when they used it. It was very effective. The twists, there were a couple of twists, I thought they were painfully obvious, but it's worth watching. Belko Experiment, thankfully, is only an hour and a half long, but I was disappointed in it, Roland. Not, like, it's written by James Gunn, so I guess I thought it would be funnier. Oh, I'm with you on, Ren, every time I do that mission, I'm telling people I wish I had a Honecker skin. I want to play as Honecker. He's like the most badass dude. He's like some nerd who gets a pistol and he's like, no, I want to fight the aliens too. And then he's useless. I want to play as Honecker so Honecker can be useful for once. But yeah, the Belko Experiment is really kind of boring. It's really violent. John C. McGinley hacks a man to death with a cleaver in a bathroom stall, so if you ever wanted to see Dr. Cox just going crazy on somebody, it's got that. I'm only 3 episodes into season 2, Roland. I got a little stalled on it, but I'm caught up enough now that I'm going to continue my watch. I'm also waiting on Mrs. Thunderhead to get back because she wants to watch it too. The Belko Experiment needed more office-related stuff. The Belko Experiment needed more, like, You know, oh, we've got to kill 30 people or 60 will die. Okay, so then, like, HR splits off, and, like, the HR department starts saying how, well, we have to make this, like, you know, equal. We have to represent all races equally and all genders equally, make this as fair as possible, divide this up along, you know, ethnic background and religious affiliation. And then you'd have, you know, like the maintenance department with their own plan for it. You'd have some asshole who's never been in any physical altercation in his life, like, creating pamphlets on the most ideal and humane way to kill your coworkers. Like, they needed to have fun with it in the office environment. And they don't. There are almost no office-related killings. It's mostly people shooting each other. And I think at the end, a guy gets his head beaten in with, like, a tape dispenser, but I'm like, I mean, we needed people getting their heads slammed into copy machines. Somebody needed to get drowned in the water cooler. Yeah, no, I mean, here's the thing for Gadarung. I know what you mean, because, yeah, they did a lot of those social experiment things in the Fallout vaults, but, you know, a lot of premises for a lot of stories found their way into those Fallout vault social experiments. That's a broad enough genre that I can't pretend like that's directly inspired by it. Okay, Hardy, I have to implore you to do something. Hardy, please listen to me, take a moment, okay? Whatever it is you're doing, just stop, look, listen. Don't watch the sequel. Hardy, don't watch the sequel. Just put it out of your head. Okay, you know now. There is one. Don't watch it. It is one of the worst pieces of shit I have ever seen. I turned it off 20 minutes in, and I will watch some awful movies. I will watch some truly terrible films, and I will watch them all the way through to the end. And that movie was such... I love Train to Busan. Train to Busan is a great zombie movie. It is one of the better zombie movies that's ever been made. And I like Korean horror cinema for that matter, which is why I watched Squid Game. It's all Korean. Squid Game also reminded me a lot of Oldboy. There's a lot of stuff taken from Oldboy in Squid Game, though far less disturbing than it is in Oldboy. If you've seen Oldboy, you know what I mean about disturbing. It has some really fucked up shit in it. Hardy, here's the thing. If I didn't tell you this, you ran the risk of clicking along, and one day you'd be like, oh, The Peninsula, a Train to Busan movie. I'm gonna watch this. It sucks so fucking bad. I'm not even going to talk about why it's bad. I'm just going to say that if you were watching Train to Busan and you thought to yourself, I wish this was a Fast and the Furious movie, then you'll love The Peninsula, because that's what it is. I don't know how you get to that. I don't know how you get from one to the other, but they did it. It's crazy. Fallout New Vegas 2010, Belko Experiment 2016. I forgot around. The premise is so broad that you can't really attribute it to that. The idea of locking everyone in a room and being like, kill 30 people or 60 dies, like it's Battle Royale, basically. Except Battle Royale was interesting and the Belko Experiment's kind of disappointing, and the end of it's really cheesy. Rubik's Cube, good to see you, man. Girlfriend hasn't seen the new Star Wars movies, and literally the first thing I said, yeah, my significant other has never seen the Matrix sequels. Thanks to me. And she never will. God, I wish I could erase those from my fucking mind. The Raid. Yeah, The Raid's pretty good. I enjoyed The Raid, but The Raid was like, that was a one-time watch for me. There's something really going on in The Raid. It's just like, punch, punch, kick. Really neat, single shot take of some punching, kicking. And then you're like, oh, that was a fun movie, and then you forget about it in like a couple of months. I remember the name of it, I remember a couple of the punches and the kicks, and that's pretty much it. Ion Raptor, good to see you. And Hardy, I'll tell you the reason I remember The Raid is it came out around the same time as Dread, and everybody and their cousin was like, oh, Dread is just a ripoff of The Raid. And I'm like, I watched both of them. They have as much to do with one another as each one has to do with Die Hard? In the sense that it's like, they're stuck in a building. Other than that, there's nothing. There's nothing between those movies. The Raid has almost nothing going on outside of the punching and the kicking, whereas Dread has real filmmaking going on the whole way through. I think it's a vastly more worthwhile watch. You know, Ren, I know that people are divided on this one. I would prefer that I had never seen Mad Max Fury Road, but I know a lot of people would disagree with me on that one. People really like Mad Max Fury Road. Mad Max Fury Road and Blade Runner 20 whatever are like the two movies of the last 10 years that I have the most clear division with what is, you know, understood to be popular as far as films go. I'm not like an intentional contrarian. I like a lot of movies that are generally popular. I like dumb popcorn flicks. I enjoy mindless action a lot of the time. But I don't know. Mad Max and Blade Runner were just like for me. They didn't really do much. I can complain more about them, but I think you probably heard that by now. Not a fan of Mad Max as a franchise. Hardy, The Road Warrior, dude. If you take nothing else from Mad Max as a franchise, take The Road Warrior. The first movie is kind of slow and depressing, and if you're not really into the setting, it's not going to do much for you. Road Warrior was perfect. Road Warrior is a perfect movie. Beyond Thunderdome is nuts. Beyond Thunderdome is just goofy shit, and I enjoy it, but it's wacky, goofy shit. Orcrist, good to see you, man. Welcome in. We got a few people pop in. I've just been rambling about movies. I'm going to give you all just another minute while I finish off the bottom of my mug here to get those Storm Report entries in. Yeah, Ren, and I think that's fair. It's not for everyone. Big parts of it bugged me, and Fury Road's a beautiful movie. If we're talking about, like, just filmmaking, the craft of making film. We're talking about cinematography, we're talking about special effects, we're talking about framing, we're talking about how music is into... Well, no, actually not for Fury Road. I hated the soundtrack in Fury Road, but visually, it's gorgeous. It had no story, as far as I can tell. Many of the major plot points were self-contradictory and irritating. And then the music confused me. I can pinpoint the moment that I got really, really frustrated with Mad Max Fury Road, and it was when they zoomed in on Rodan. Good to see you, by the way, buddy. When they zoomed in on the Doof Warrior, you know, the guy who, there's the big truck with it's just covered in like a wall of speakers, and there's the dude on like bungee cords who has no eyes, I guess, and he's like riffing on a fucking guitar, just like dun 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 dun, and like flames are shooting out of the guitar, and it's awesome. I'm like, fuck yes, this is gonna be great. Let's do this. Because I'm thinking this is gonna be the soundtrack of the movie. Like, we're gonna have the Doof Warrior over there playing his riffs, and we'll come back to him. It's like diegetics, you know? Diegetic sound, where the music that you're hearing is also occurring within the context of the story and other people can hear it. I thought for sure that's what we were gonna do. And the camera cuts away from the Doof Warrior, and his music ends, and it's replaced with just generic adventure movie music of no real consequence. And that was for the rest of the film. How do you fuck that up? How do you have that good an idea and then just not use it? Oh, I forgot wrong. You talking about Waterworld? What about Waterworld, man? That movie was fucking weird. And then, see, for me, it's an unraveling. There's something in a movie when I'm watching it that like, I'm willing to accept stupid shit up to a point, and then something happens, and it's like that first thread, and I'm like, uh-oh, I gotta start pulling, and then there are things that otherwise wouldn't bug me, but start to. And I feel certain it was, like, the first thread to pop out in Fury Road was when he dumped all the water into the desert, and I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, okay, whatever, I'm still watching it. And then the Doof Warrior thing was like me pulling on the thread, and we went further, and then everybody's shooting fire into the fucking air off their goddamn trucks because they come from Gasoline Town or whatever, and I'm like, you are a small society whose authority is derived from the fact that you own and operate a refinery. and everyone needs your fuel. And you demonstrate this power by taking that fuel, this incredibly valuable resource, without which literally everyone loses all of their power and authority, and you shoot it into the air for no tangible benefit. Okay. And that's what I mean. Like, that probably wouldn't bother me if other things about the movie didn't bother me too. But I'm already tugging on the thread, you know? So I get to that one and I'm like, oh yeah, and by the way, fuck that. Like, it was just little thing after little thing. And I get it's all stylized and it's all in the head of George Miller. But George Miller is just a fucking nerd who wanted to drive a big rig down the post-apocalyptic highway and have people fight on top of it. That's all he ever wanted to do. And I guess I'm glad he got to make his big movie, but I thought it was better done in Road Warrior. Hey, Casino Reads, how you doing? Just got a 3D printer, want to start making terrain for Infinity. Can you recommend an idiot-friendly program for desing? For desing? Help me out with that last work, Casino, and I think we can probably help you out. Ah, for designing. For designing. So, I use Fusion 360 a lot of the time, and Fusion 360 is a paid program, but once it has a much softer learning curve than a lot of CAD while still being very powerful. It has a free license that you can get. You're going to want to dig into the website a little bit, look for the Fusion 360 free license. It will limit you in the number of projects that you can have open, and it will limit some of the features that you're allowed to use, but you can use it effectively infinitely for free as long as you're making things for yourself. Don't make anything that you then sell. If you're making things and giving them to people or just making them for yourself, then that's just fine. And yeah, I think CAD for Infinity Terrain in particular, Vergaderung, for something very playable. Well, see, I use Fusion as my base for all terrain. I build objects in there, and then if I need to do sculpting, I port those files into other programs to work on. Now, if you're willing to grab 3D design by the haunches and try to tame the raging bull, there's always Blender. Blender's free. Blender can do virtually anything, but it has a learning curve like a brick wall. So, weigh those two things. I would say if you're looking to make something for Infinity, you want to make it relatively quickly, you want it all to be very particularly sized, go ahead and dive into the Fusion 360 free license. I don't think you'll regret that at all. Waterworld, by the way, has one of the most interesting productions in film history, in my opinion. Do you have any idea how much money they sunk into that movie? So much. That movie cost unbelievable quantities of money, and there are some very, very famous stories that come out of the production of Waterworld of just what a fucking diva that Kevin Costner was about the whole thing. Like, it's ridiculous. They built that whole floating town, was like a real series of sets that they built. And then they blew it up. Like, that by itself cost millions of dollars. And it was for a couple of scenes that looked like shit. And then they had Jack Black in. You can't even tell that it's him, but he's in the movie, which is weird. I mean, he wasn't really anybody at the time, but he is in there. What I've heard, hard ops and box cutter plugins make Blender very nice to do CAD-like stuff, but cost money, and that's always the trick. That is always the trick. And here's the thing, Casino Reads, you're going to start using one thing, and once you get over that learning curve, if you enjoy doing design, you're going to start spreading out to other pieces of software kind of as you need them. Don't be reluctant to do that. Don't be reluctant to look to other software, to other programs, to other design environments for the features that you need. But, you know, starting on something easy like Fusion, you'll be able to make some things that they might not be the most complicated thing you've ever seen in your life, but you can just kind of keep making them and keep doing iterations for them and keep printing them, which is what I love about having a 3D printer. Yep. Yes, it did, Hamburg. Yes, it did. One last movie to ask about, seeing as how we got talking about it on the Discord, Titan AE. I have seen Titan AE. I've seen Titan AE many times. I saw it when it first released, and I've watched it a number of times since then. The Titan AE, the memory that it always brings up for me is I was in the middle of watching it one time when my cat got sprayed in the face by a skunk. And I'm like right in the middle of the movie, you know, Janine Garofalo as her alien is saying some fun line or something, and my cat comes running into the room, squinting up at me like, ugh, and I'm like, oh, what's wrong, bud? And then it hits me. That is my that is my clearest memory of watching Titan AE, and something that I am never likely to forget. But with that, we're going to go ahead and close entries for the Storm Report, and we're going to get started working tonight, guys. Crap, you know what? Speaking of Thunderdome. Bust a deal, face the wheel. Let me grab a beer real quick. I'll be right back. 1 second. The coffee to beer transition is an important step in the Thunderhead stream experience. Hamburg. Xanderina, thank you so much for the follow, by the way. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Storm Chasers. Oh, shit, that's a lie. I didn't update that. It's not the Hexagons of Vegetation. It's the Rivers of Hex, but it's from the same person in the same place. And thank you for sending that to me, Verg. I got that started right before I got on. Did mention on the Discord, potentially planning to design a Necromunda gang based off the Shipbreakers and Titan AE. Gang are running an illegal shipbreaking operation out in the space lane surrounding Necromunda. Kitting them out with industrial gear and space suits. I like it. How did that work out for you, Rubik's Cube? Or wait, was that the Vulture? Wait, no. Who had the Vulture? Who was doing the Green Falcons, the Jade Falcons Vulture? Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, no, that's right. It was the priming issue with Rubik's Cube. It wasn't the Vulture. I was gonna say, you were gonna strip that? No. Oh, okay, I just got mixed up, that's all. Gear Falcon, yes, it was. Yeah, he went back and he did some shading on it and wound up looking fantastic. I'm glad to hear that worked out for you. Print mostly curves and avoid long straight sections. Yes, I'm doing like 2 or 3 straights just so I've got them, and then I'm going to print at least 2, probably 5 to 6 curves, and I'm going to see what that gets me. I'll probably pop off a lake, and then I'm planning to do a desert board build once I can get the Hextech Aeroplex painted up. I'm going to do a desert mat with a river, and I'll probably do a highway going over the top of it, and then I'm going to do a bunch of the desert hills and the desert foliage kind of surrounding it. Hey, better is, well, it's better. The river crossings are better straight sections. Oh, okay. Well, I'll probably do like just a couple of each then. And if I've got some extras, it won't be a big deal. Alright, so we're diving back in on our Men-at-Arms tonight. These guys are mostly done, but for a couple detail touch-ups and some damage that I want to put on the lot of these guys. So I'm setting these aside. And I'm going to work on finishing these blue guys. I did one more blue guy because I've got 3 colors and 4 trays, so I just kind of arbitrarily made a 5th of each color. Oh, yeah? You gotta let me know how that goes, Rubik's. Romeo Void, welcome to the stream. Good to see you, man. Yeah, Nids versus Guard is very Starship Troopers. Okay, where am I starting tonight? Oh, let's finish the leather, then let's finish the armor. I think we can get through these 3 guys if we're smart and relatively quick. Yeah. Let's do that. Well, oils are mostly dry right now, so I'm going to apply a little bit of fresh Terra Rosa as a blending coat. And some pale rose blush to blend the leather into. Some of these I did not add enough thinner to. That's okay. Oh, that's no good. Let's get some fresh white spirits since stuff's all muddy. Yeah, the planet literally exploded, as I recall. Right, pale rose blush. I need a little bit of yellow ochre, I think. Gotta mix up some more yellow ochre tonight. I am running on empty on this pre-mixed bottle. Touch of thinning, not too much. Nice and easy. Okay. That guy's leather is done. This guy's is not. So let's just start off by kind of giving myself a big, wide area to work with here. And then just a touch up towards the top here. A little bit here in the middle. A little bit on his boots. Many of these oils should still be fairly wet, but they've had a little bit of a chance to dry overnight, so. Treating them like they're mostly dry. A little bit up here. I don't want to do too much yellow, just enough. Just to taste. A little bit on the back of the hand here. A couple touches on the temple for this little leather strap. Alright. Let's blend it. You know, Steel Rebel was talking about working with wet oils versus dry oils the other night on her stream, and I realized that I think I actually like working with dry oils better, which kind of makes the painting process slower, because I benefit from waiting a little while in between steps. But I've taken to like doing a few things and then stepping away, because even a couple hours, if you're using an already kind of thinned out oil, We'll dry it enough for some real easy effects. One more quick dab right in the middle. Yeah, to reduce overblending, because it's much easier, because the oil paints are naturally fairly transparent. Very few of them are terribly opaque. So if you're doing an extreme blend, it can help to let the layer underneath dry for a little while before you come in and try to blend anything else into it. Treats it more as a filter at that point. So if you want the blend to be really, really subtle, do it while it's wet. If you want it to be a little bit more stark, wait for the undercoat to dry a bit, is my experience. Davik Designs. Oh, nice. It's always nice when you find somebody making kind of just what you want to use, isn't it? Oh, fuck yeah, Pixel Gent. You have to let me know how that thing works. I'm definitely going to be picking up a Mars 3 once it's available for general retail, which should be pretty soon, as I understand it. It sounds like a bad reaction, Hardy, because, yeah, flaking definitely should not be happening. Where would I go to learn about using Fusion 360? There are lots and lots and lots of resources on YouTube, Ren. Like a whole hell of a lot. That's where I would start. A big part of it is just going to be, like with any new tool, learning which parts of it you don't need to pay any attention to. It's the 80-20 principle. 80% of users will use 20% of any given features. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that, Verg. I guess I'm waiting on that, but, well, you know, ultimately, the truth is that my Mars 2 and my Mars 1 are enough for me right now, and I might do the screen swap on my Mars 1 to bring it up to the mono screen, because that'll essentially make it just another Mars 2. And that might be worth waiting for. The unlock, that is. If I can just hold out. Oh, enjoy your food, Ren. I get that urge, that retail therapy urge to get new printers pretty regularly, but I keep myself on track with one simple question. Each and every time, it's always this question that really helps me stop myself from going too crazy, and it is just, am I exceeding the capacity of my current printers on a regular basis? Am I being stymied by not having more print area or faster printing? And the vast majority of the time, the answer is no. When the answer is yes, I do go ahead and get myself a new printer. But if I'm not pushing it, then what the hell am I going to do with a bigger one, you know? I'm sure I could find things to do, but if I don't want to do it right now when I don't have it, then that's all it's going to be, is me making excuses to use it, and that's not what I need to do. I have enough shit I actually have to do without making stuff up, you know? Yeah, that's a little rough, Pixel Gent. If like the Mars 2 was a great upgrade for me because it doubled the speed of my printing, and that's why I'm thinking about upgrading my Mars 1 with the better screen. Is because like the larger print area is nicer, but the speed is the real upgrade. Making stuff up to print your current job. Yeah, that's just it, though. If I'm making stuff and prototyping and that's filling my printers, that's great. But at this point, with the number of printers I have, I've usually just got them all going at any given time. I don't necessarily need more capacity. And at a certain point, it's like, that's awesome, I'm printing 9 things at once. I can't process that many things at once, so I have to find the bottlenecks in the actual production line. And currently that's not it. How do I like the Neptune? I like the Neptune a lot. I've had 0 problems with it since setting it up. It has just run, just purring like a kitten. Yeah, I really quite like the Neptune. I think... So I replaced my Ender 3 V2 because I didn't like the Ender 3 V2. It was... I don't know what the hell is wrong with those things, but I know Alex and I both had bad experiences with them for whatever reason. And my Ender 3 V1 has just been going, and doing a great job ever since I got it. But it's reached the point now where it is having enough glitches, enough problems. I'm spending more time chasing down the gremlins than I am printing things on it, and I just, ask myself a question at a certain point. The pack rat in me never wants to stop using a printer. The pack rat in me says, like, you can just repair it. It'll be fine. Just give it a chance. There's always something you can do to get it back on the production line. But here's the thing, I spent $180 on it 2 years ago. Over 2 years, 2.5 years ago, I guess. And since then, it has arguably made me, well, a lot more than that. A whole hell of a lot more than that, I can tell you. So I think just ditching it at this point, because it's causing me so many problems, and upgrading it to another Neptune 2, I think that's probably the way forward. Yeah, and it's like, I can't figure out what's happening mechanically anymore for Godarung. It keeps jamming, it keeps doing the same jam, and I have taken the hot end apart, I have replaced the nozzles, I don't know how many times, I've swapped the extruder gears and assemblies, I've swapped the tubes, I've done everything, and it just keeps having the same problem, and I'm like, you know what isn't having this problem? My Neptune 2. So... maybe we go ahead and move on a bit. But I don't ship as much as some people. Those of you who've had things shipped from me know that it takes me fucking forever and I'm not very good at it. That's why I let Alex handle all that for me most of the time. I darken up the edges. I did this shield really early on. This is an older one, so it doesn't quite have the depth of some of my latest versions of the shield. I may just go ahead and redo it a touch. Why the hell not? I gotta stop putting my elbow over here on my paper towels, because I keep dragging them around. I need to go up here so I don't do that. Grab some burnt umber. Go. Charlie Day as Luigi? Wait, what the fuck are we talking about? We already have the perfect Luigi, Roland. John Leguizamo is a goddamn treasure. You seeking to supplant John Leguizamo is just sick, man. Chris Pratt as Mario? What? Wes Anderson's Super Mario Bros. Oh my, you know what? I'd watch this. But I watch terrible things. Jack Black as Bowser is a little too much. That's a little too much for me. That's almost too meta. Just gonna try kind of laying all these colors on at once. And just blending it out and seeing what happens. I don't know if this is even a good idea. I usually do them one at a time, but we're gonna see what this does. We're learning, we're growing. Right? Danny DeVito as Mario. See, that would have been perfect like 10 years ago. He's a little up there these days, though. Something I'm very specifically gonna do is I'm gonna drag my blends in from the outer edge, as opposed to pushing them out. Put in too much yellow. Now Bowsette Jack Black, I mean, yeah, I can work with this. Those of you who might be concerned for my mental health and weren't watching the stream just heard me say that. I made my don't listen to what I just said face shortly after saying that. You know the face. You know the one. I do it all the time. That worked nicely. That was actually pretty cool. I just did the ochre, Terra Rosa, or not ochre, umber, Terra Rosa, ochre, and pale rose, and just kind of blub 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 blub, just drew my blends in from the outer edge, and look at how easily that went in. Thank you, I will have a drink, Data Nerd. That was excellent. I'm really happy with that. Shields are all going to have a slightly different look to them because this entire set of dudes was getting done kind of experimentally. Like, I tried different techniques on all of them before I settled on something I really like. But, oh well. I was saying, I just ordered a set of nice, fine synthetic brushes from Game Envy. Hopefully those will turn out to be nice. Because since I've started using, I use one of my old Winsor & Newton Zeros. I'll tell you, Vergaderung, oil painting is definitely the place for these super fine tip brushes. At this point, I'm pretty well with you on using the bigger brushes for acrylics. Because as long as they've got the tip, then they're just fine. You don't really need the super duper tiny brushes to do almost any work in acrylics. But oils? Yes, having a super fine tip brush can be extremely helpful. Oh, thank you, T-Squared. Thank you very much. Because your paint doesn't dry. You actually get the benefit of having the teeny tiny brush. Let's see what you ordered here. Oh, for some reason my screen is back there. Arteza oil paint set. Interesting. I have not used Arteza, but I will say that is a good number of colors. I mean, 24. And even at 12 milliliters, those should last you a good long time. Let's see what we got in this set. Titanium white, yes. Yellow pale, excellent. Lemon yellow, mid yellow, yellow ochre, excellent. Orange yellow, scarlet red, vermilion red, cad red, burnt sienna, crimson, cobalt, Prussian blue, ultramarine, cobalt violet, cerulean blue, sky blue, light green, mid green, viridian, burnt umber, lamp black, gold, silver. Yeah, no, that should, honestly, that's enough to go for quite some time. There are only maybe a few colors you're going to want outside of that, and you'll figure those out as you get to them. It's good training. It's good training, Square. I'm terrible at that. I'm gonna be a crumpled over old man one day soon. I'm gonna be sad. At least I'll be sad. Most people probably won't care. Yeah, Painted Ogre. We've had a couple that have gone like an hour and a half to 2 hours. So we're just trying to arrest that trend before it gets out of hand. How you doing today, Painted Ogre? Get a shout out, by the way, for Painted Ogre. Riot Sister, good to see you.
Hello there.
Yeah, I'm loving the really, really fine tip brush with oils, though. This is changed the level of detail that I'm able to achieve fairly significantly. How you doing today, Riot Sister? Messing up a test color mech for a minor Lyran house. Probably not messing it up too bad. Something, happy little accidents. It's just giving it your own personal touch, that's all.
If you don't respect the cat, you're gonna get the BAP.
That's the next step, buying new brushes for them oils. So I've been using some just cheap-ass sets of synthetics, like nylons. They've done pretty well for me. I just ordered, like I said, the 5-piece brush set from Game Envy of their nylons, so I will be happy to give you a review of those when they come in. I'm hoping that they're going to be a good set for this particular task. I don't think I would... Like, outside of being able to keep a really nice pointy tip, I don't think I would use, like, Kolinsky Sable. I hope you won that argument. Brought a three-piece synthetic set from Windsor and Newton. They're doing excellently. Using them for my enamels and oils. Keep Raphaels for acrylics. Nice. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, let me check my bag. Toby and Lord, how you doing today, man? It's good to see you. How are things? Haven't seen you for a while. How's the streaming going? Hey, Gus Schultz, how you doing today, man? Welcome in. Angry Orchard is tasty business. Not usually that much of a fan of ciders. They're just a bit much for me most of the time, but every now and then, get that sweet tooth. When I say that, but I'll also drink a fucking sour that'll strip the enamel off my teeth, so who knows. There's no accounting for taste, ladies and gents. Never had a sour beer Rubik's Cube? They've been kind of a trend lately, and they are delicious. By lately, I mean for the last couple years, really. I think that craze is still going on. And a very good evening to you, Pun Expected. Can we get another shout out for Pun Expected Painting? A very, very talented painter. Also works in quite a few oils. So if that's the kind of painting you're looking for, there's a follow you're going to want to drop. Ciders are they're just real sweet. I mean, you know, by their nature, it makes sense. But it's not necessarily what I'm looking for most of the time. Roswell Sure Swell tastes like a warhead. Yikes. I'm interested. Dude, I love warheads. Warhead sour candy? That's the business there. You ever had Crybaby sour gumballs? Because those things are fucking amazing, too. The real trick is to get the Crybaby guts. They have the sour stuff on the inside of the gumball, and it's kind of amazing. Oh, you have something significantly more sour than that, do you? Well, yeah, feel free to let me know. Need a dry cider. I've had ciders that I've enjoyed. I haven't, like... It's not that I think ciders are bad. It's just that a lot of them are very, very sweet. And when I'm in the mood for something sweet, I usually go for a mead. Though I've had some very, very earthy meads that I've enjoyed quite a lot, too. Dude, Rubik's, I'm always making the missus mad because when she buys, like, limes and lemons for something, if she leaves them there for too long, I just eat them. Just as they are. I just slice them up and I munch them down. I like sour stuff. She'll be like, I was gonna make guacamole with that, and then I feel bad because I did want the guacamole. I just have no self-control. That feels pretty good. That feels pretty good. Mohandi, which is how you have to say it, apparently. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Storm Chasers. And there's to you. How you doing today, Mohandi? You a painter? You don't actually have to answer me. I love my lurkers. Yeah, good enough. Remind myself that we are, in fact, painting mans for the sake of a mass fantasy battle game, and I need to finish these guys more than I need to make sure each and every one is fucking perfect. So do this last little blend on the shields, and then we're going to move right on over into the armor. What's a good color to do auburn hair? You want to start with something real deep red, and I'm talking like, ooh. What's your brand, Rodan? If you're doing like Vallejo, I'd start with something like a real dark skin tone, even. And then I would build that up through maybe rust reds, and then mix in a touch of yellow. Should be good enough. Got a bunch of pro acryl. You should be able to definitely find something in there that'll work for you. Yeah, like a mahogany. If we're talking starting as a deep base, yeah, like a dark coat of burnt sienna would probably be a good place to start. You want that red in there, though. Starting some mercenary crossbowmen now. So many dudes to paint. Yeah, they're next up. They're next up for me. I got all my merc crossbowmen over here ready to go on the desk next, and then after them it's going to be my household knights. Alright, I need some Payne's Gray to start us off. Since I'm going to be doing blending, I'm doing this as just kind of a wet coat for the blends I'm going to do. Because you got to have wet paint to blend into. Not necessarily. Like we were talking about earlier, you can do dry blends, but I want something a bit smoother here. Lay it on too thick. A nice thin coat is just fine. So, Syramishi, have you got any games in of Conquest? I'm looking for people's opinions on militia. Both regular militia and the arrow, the bowman, militia bowman. Because I have used a block of regular militia one time, and man, they fucking suck. The only way I can see them being worthwhile is maybe if I was running the new special rule for 100 Kingdoms where you can upgrade squads to veterancy and boost their stats, like, then the militia might be worth their price. But at the same time, I look at that and I'm like, yeah, but I could just do men-at-arms instead. I guess I don't hate the idea of the militia in a list that's running drills, the new, you know, hardened drill rule. Because then their support all gets bumped up, and maybe that'll... I haven't used any of the new army-wide rules yet, I think, is my problem. And I think that there are some of those that could work well with militia, but the raw rules from last year, militia just kind of sucked. And I don't want to buy any more if I'm not going to end up running them, you know? Now that I can run almost entire lists of nothing but cavalry with stuff like the Priory commanders, that might be what I wind up doing, because, man, 100 Kingdoms has cavalry going for him right now in a big way. It seems to set him apart from the other factions. Alright, let that dry just a wee little bit, give some fresh coats to the other two. Ooh, Rising Sun has some nice minis. You know, for a board game.
You know, I suppose you could just go ahead and glorb that paint on anywhere. It's not like we're trying to get inside the lines or anything.
Oh, I can and I will. Glorbing with style, my friend. With style. How you been, Lore Friendly? What are you working on? extra for these rivets, just to make sure I get a good shadow on them. Errant of the Shield. There are so many. This is maybe my one complaint. It's not really a complaint so much as it just I need to play the game more. For Conquest, there are just so many unit upgrades in the game. There's so many ways to customize each unit by having like a leader with a retinue and putting the right artifact on them, and it's like, oh god. And they're all named crazy things, so I'm never sure what they do at a glance. I gotta consult the rules, and I guess that'll just come with time and experience. Like any game, really. Either going to paint the Oni or paint your Beholder you've been sitting on for 3 years now. That sounds uncomfortable, sitting on a Beholder for 3 years. Yikes. Nice cheap light block with the Theist Priest. Yeah, the Theist Priest definitely seemed to work well with him. But the thing about them for me is, if you're talking about using them as just like an early roadblock, like, I feel like you've got to have like 9 trays of them before they're worthwhile. And let me tell you, that, for me, whether it's good in the game or not, fuck you painting 9 trays of fucking militia. I don't want to fucking do that. That sounds awful. I would be just reduced to straight up acrylic dry brushing at that point. Like, up, get them on the field, who gives a shit? Maybe that's the answer, though. Yeah, I thought so. And that's a lot of models. That's a whole lot of models that aren't very interesting. Which is why I'm thinking more like Priory Commander, Order of the Crimson Tower list. There's kind of a fun combination you can do if you take the... what is it? The training upgrade for a cavalry block. If you got a Noble Lord or a Priory Commander in a cavalry block, you can give them... is it called... I don't think it's called Relentless. I think it's called Disciplined. And Disciplined allows them to make an ordered withdrawal without having to roll a die. Now, as part of an ordered withdrawal, you have to rotate to move away from the unit that you're disengaging from. But you can do, like, cavalry ping-pong with that. Like, if you're engaged with a unit, you charged, you hit them the previous turn, and another unit is moving in to try to flank your knights, you can disengage, rotate, and then charge again and get all your charge benefits. You just bounce off one unit and into another. Because, man, that initial charge hit from cavalry is where it's at. And if you take Disciplined once per round, you're just set up to do that for free. Cole515 dropping that Prime sub. Thank you so much for the resubscription, my friend. How do you like Conquest? Just picked up the core box myself. Hoping to get it built and played soon. It's a great game. Honestly, like, just rules-wise, which is where I love models. I'll paint models for games I don't even play sometimes. But I get more excited about figures when I really enjoy the game, and I'm kind of a rules nerd. Particularly for rank and flank, because it represents a form of warfare that is often misunderstood and generally manifests in games in silly and crazy ways, but it has more to do with properly outmaneuvering your opponent than a lot of more modern individual figure war games. I find that in rank and flank games, often but not always, how you play your list is often more important than the list that you're bringing. It depends on the game, but it is often true in rank and flank. It is definitely true in Conquest. It has... I think my biggest complaint about Conquest is that the rules have been written a little crazily. As far as, like, the rules themselves are really good, but the way that they're written is like, oh, we used 2 paragraphs and we could have used 1, which always frustrates me. But they've been making improvements on that front. And once you actually start just moving figures around the table and figuring out what the hell those dense blocks of text are supposed to fucking say, the rules aren't terribly complicated. I think they're just very poorly communicated. The gameplay itself is fantastic, the models are great, the factions are interesting, the lore is pretty good. I recommend it overall. And very competitively priced for what you get out of that core box. I like the Steel Legion. Steel Legion have really, really cool models too, but I'm a cavalry nut in my heart. In the same way with, in most of my rank and flank games, I was playing Rune Wars. Even when I was playing Wykar the Undying, I would run Death Knights, and then I would take Ankar Morrow the Necromancer, and I would have him bring, like, a group of fallen, knights from the Deccan forces. Because they were a little... Like, the Death Knights were good, but they're expensive, and they're a little bit of a finesse weapon. It's hard to run a lot of them. And then the Deccan Knights were a lot cheaper and more blunt. So I'd bring them along and run kind of a hammer and anvil setup. Yeah, Games Workshop's just expensive. It's, you know... Games Workshop has been told over and over again that they can charge these prices, and so they're gonna. Well, it's just kind of how it is now. It has been for quite some time. Alright. Get some cobalt blue. And some white. And we're gonna start working on the rest of this armor. Nice light kind of sky blue to work with is what I'm looking for. Looks like I'm just about there. My first rank and flank. Nice! Rank and flank is a lot of fun. Oh, yeah, by the way, guys, if you're interested in Conquest, I guess I should mention this. You can always hit ! Conquest in chat to get a link to their store and a code to save yourself 10% on any given purchase made on the Parabellum online store. Conveniently, it's Thunderhead. You just put Thunderhead in, you can save 10% on whatever it is you're ordering. It doesn't stack with their other bundle deals or anything like that, but if you're ordering something that one of those deals doesn't apply to, just pop down Thunderhead and you'll save yourself a few bucks. They've got really good prices anyway, and they run some pretty fantastic deals. I'm glad to see the game has taken off the way that it has. It's getting more and more popular, and you know, this is the key to getting started in any tabletop war game, because as I've said a million times, it's really, really hard to get a new game going in a local area, because it's like, you know, with a tabletop war game, with a video game, it's easy. You pay 20 bucks, you got the game. If you can't find any local players and none of your friends play, don't worry, there's some kid in Korea who will whoop your ass for free. And you can certainly find him. With the tabletop game, you gotta buy it, you gotta build it, you gotta paint it, and then you start looking around like, who else wants to do this? And they're like, man, I've already spent $500 on Warhammer 40k, and you can't promise me I'm gonna get a game of this, I'm not gonna get in. But more and more, it is getting easier to find games of Conquest. I've also got some 3D printable bases for Conquest that I made myself. And I'm about to release a new edition of these with a couple of extra designs. Currently, it's these designs, Fields of the Fallen. It has a series of like swords and helmets and broken shields and everything worked into the bases. You have easy slots for magnets, so you can magnetize your guys right down into the base, no problem. And then they have these groovy slots on the bottom where you can take puzzle piece connectors to link your stands together into full regiments. And they actually stick together quite nicely for moving around on the board. Yeah, the Ice Jotnar is pretty nuts. As far as model quality goes, yeah. If you're an insane maniac like I am, what you can do, Rubik's Cube, is just buy all the armies for every game that you play, and then con your friends into playing by being like, you don't have to buy anything, choose mine. That's why I have way too many goddamn models. Well, that's one of the reasons I have way too many goddamn models. Or at least that's one of the ways that I justify the fact that I have way too many goddamn models. So one of the cool things I'm finding about doing NMM on oil paints is that oil paints have a natural gloss to them. They're naturally a bit glossier than most acrylic paints, which means as I'm painting with a nice bright light, I can just pay attention to where the light is shining off of the oils and use that as my note for where I'm going to put my highlights. I've started doing that, and it's making me work a lot faster. I just don't have to think as much about where everything goes, because I use the light as a guide. Counted your unpainted models a few weeks ago. Why would you do that to yourself? That's just cruel. I'm too far gone. I'm way too far gone to do an actual count at this point. It would be depressing. So we're just gonna pretend that it's not too many, even though we know that it definitely is. Well, yeah, but Squidmar is Squidmar. He's probably gonna paint them all eventually. At least he might paint them all eventually. There's a chance he'll paint them all eventually. I won't. It's just... I'll paint a good number of them
here
eventually,
at
conceivably.
Studio, we specialize in turning your shame into more shame.
We don't have to. We don't have to generate more shame. Nobody's making us. If they're not gonna make me, I'm gonna avoid it. We don't have to, and yet it continues to happen. You may have a point, Data Nerd. Oh my god. I went through my office and tried to deal with any... I tried real hard to hunt down. I was like, there's got to be at least one fly in here. I'm gonna find him. Didn't find anything, but he found me. I am so fucking ready for summer to be over. I mean, proper over. And by over, I mean all the bugs dead. All of them dead. Tired of moths. Tired of flies. No matter how many times I spray, it's just, like, you know... It's a drop in the bucket. I hate myself too much to just not go and buy more. Like, look, if I wasn't buying new models, I wouldn't be getting punished properly, okay? Now take this cat of nine tails and help me be a better boy. Keeping it simple there. Pixel Gent, I'm Eastern Colorado. There aren't here the vast majority of the time. But out here in the plains, particularly with any animals at all, during the summer, we get moths and we get flies. And there's just no way around it. They're here. And they are annoying as fuck. Not all the time, but... And then winter/fall rolls around and they all die for like 6 to 8 months. And it is the best time. It is the finest of times. That's a bit much. Let's just, take some of that out of there. Been playing Dishonored 2? Stephen Russell, who voiced Garrett in the Thief game. Oh, that's appropriate, isn't it? Man, I haven't thought about Thief in a long time. Those games are great. One of my next big projects in ZBrush is learning how to make chainmail, how to put 3D printable chainmail on a 28mm sized figure that is chunky enough to paint and look good. This is going to be my project for a little while. Because I discovered it's fairly easy to just wrap a mail-like texture around something, but then when you print it, it's like, oh, that doesn't paint like well at all. That looks like shit. So that's going to take some practice. Hey, Lady B. Good to see you. Welcome in. Yeah, we get plenty of snow, Pixel Gent. We get all the snow that you don't have to see. Well, not all of it. We're kind of, I mean, Colorado is sort of middle of the road. We don't get as crazy cold of winters as, like, some areas in the Northeast, or even some areas higher up in the Midwest. But we get some winter time. Our winters are usually punctuated by a couple of really, really big winter snowstorms. And then it's pretty mild most of the rest of the time. Yeah, Michigan is a more significant winter than we get, by my understanding, Rubik's. Alright, let's do the sword and the helmet. Try to get the blade fuller. I'll worry about that when I'm doing white lining. And then just a little bit in here. And a touch here, top of the blade. Alright. Actually enjoy the winters in Michigan. Get to go out and do your Jesus impression, walking on water to go fishing. That's one that never gets old. I do love a nice frozen body of water. I was hoping you were going to say you found a way to turn water into wine. Could have been best friends, but it's okay. It's okay. You're still alright. I still like you. I'm going to worry about the mail later because it doesn't call for a lot of blending so much as spot highlighting. Let's go ahead and blend in what we've got so far, because he's looking real chunky right now. I should go. I was going to say, are you asking me, should you go to the distillery? But that is a statement, which I'm glad to see, because yes, you should. Thought you were asking me an insane question for a moment there. Of course you should go to the distillery. My God, man. Isn't all wine made from water? Eventually, kinda. I guess that's one way to do it, but it's a little less immediate than I was hoping for. Ooh, real classy, Rubik's. God damn, I am gradually getting better at this, people. It's good to finally feel the effects of doing it really poorly as many times as I have, because I'm finally able to start getting the effects that I actually want without spending a whole lot of time on it. Strengthen this in a few spots. Sit in my fungin and paint and play video games and watch Thunderheads. Oh my god, that just sounds like an amazing evening, doesn't it? At least the first part of it. Someone's making you watch Thunderhead. Well, you know, I guess it can't detract too much from it. At least I hope it doesn't. Also, fungin, great word, stealing it. By stealing, I mean already stolen. It's mine now, nothing you can do about it. Talk to my lawyer.
If you don't respect the cat, you're gonna get the bap.
Oh my god. By lawyer, I mean cat. Yeah, she's. You know. We mostly operate on a volunteer basis here. She's mostly an expert in, like, mushroom law, admittedly. I've been trying to get a bird law expert, but the only good one I know is in Philly, and he's booked. He's got some kind of venture going on right now. Kitten mittens. Well, you know, it's very complex, Pixel Gent, because the truth is that mushroom law in this country, it isn't governed by reason. That needs to be thinned. That's coming off too easy. A little thinner. Let's try that. My god. Ark plays games, hitting that 9-month milestone. Thank you so much for the resub. Ark, how you doing today, man? It's good to see ya. Hope you're having a good one. It is Thursday, close to the end of the week. You know, it's got to be worth something. At least I hope so. It's a thunder baby. Oh, 9 months. It's the Twitch joke that we all tell. Oh, God. We're all so original, it hurts. I think that's what hurts anyway. Maybe I should see a doctor. I'll be fine. Oh my god. And Pixel Gent popping out that community gift sub, going to Cold Steel 3025. A man after my own heart. Thank you so much for that gift sub. Well, the difference between a nerd and a geek? I feel like that changes every couple of years as the latest generation of cool kids decides to redefine it, but I'll certainly listen to what you got for me. Money? It's a good answer. Nerds get paid. Wait. That's a different joke. That's I know that joke. It's a different one, though. Amateur Paint Hour as well. Welcome in. We got a lot of fantastic people in chat tonight. A lot of people you want to be following on Twitch if you're not already. Amateur Paint Hour, how's things going, man? How's tricks? How's them's battle mechs treating you? A little bit of schmutz in there. Let's get that out. Speaking of the Revenge of the Nerds laugh, did you guys see that Eddie Deason got arrested recently? This just happened like the other day. Go look up his mugshot. It's hilarious. Apparently he got, like, real weird with a waitress. Like, I guess he went into this restaurant a whole bunch, and at some point he tells this girl, he's like, look, I'm famous, you should be dressing up for me, you should be glad for my attention, and then he, like, grabs her by the arm or something. I didn't get the whole story of it, I just read part of it, but Eddie Deason being a fucking weirdo. You know who... Every single one of you knows who Eddie Deason is, even if you don't know his name. Trust me. Look him up. You'll recognize him. Well, maybe not everybody. I guess there are some people in this chat who could be young enough to genuinely not have seen Eddie Deason in anything. Have you seen Grease? Because you know Eddie Deason. Have you seen Revenge of the Nerds? Because you know Eddie Deason. Yeah, he did his stereotypical nonsense hyper nerd grin. I'm glad that he had a sense of humor about his arrest. Sounds like he was being a real fucking creep. It's no great loss. I don't think that Eddie Deason was ever considered like some sort of beacon. He's not like a role model for anyone. Nobody's like, I want to be just like fucking Eugene when I grow up. God, I hope not. Ugh. Alright, that's a decent start on his armor. On to the next guy. Let that sit for just a moment. Actually, you know what? I can probably lay into that with white as is. Let's just keep going on this one guy. Google has dark mode. Wait, since when? Honestly, back in the day, he might have made a decent, at least Riddler. Rubik's. I think he's secretly a bird person. It's not even secret. He just is. He's a fucking weirdo, and he always has been. As it turns out, again, a bit of a creep. That's what we're discovering now, is that he's a bit of a creep. I'm sure other people already knew. That one's worse than when, Paul Rubens got caught, like, beaten off in an adult theater. Because that's like, you know, it's weird. I definitely am going to give you a side eye if I find out that's your hobby, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like that's what they're there for. Like, everybody who goes to them knows that that's, like, to a certain degree, that's what's going to be happening. So it's like, you know, whatever. Are you technically allowed to do it? No, but I'm not worried that anybody who's going to adult theaters is going to be victimized by Paul Rubens. Has it? Really? Have I never known that? Not like Google Chrome has had dark mode, but just the Google site search engine has it? Because if so, that's news to me. I'm not saying that it can't be true. I am known to miss fairly obvious things from time to time. Oh, I want to let you guys know, we're going to be doing another multi-stream paint event with Stila Rebel. We're looking at late October to early November, and I want to let everybody here know because we are going to be doing what we are going to call the Supercell. A special Storm Report associated with it because we're going to have a vote on each of our Discords with some free 3D printable models to pick which one we are going to be painting together. And free because you are welcome to participate along at home. Go ahead and print it out yourself and paint along with us, and then I'll be encouraging everybody to post their results 1 week later to the Supercell Storm Report, and we will take some special time to review everybody's work and find out how you guys liked a sort of paint-along. Because Stila and I had a great time last time. Everybody seems to have had fun during that stream, so I'd like to open it up so more people can get involved. There will be more announcements about this on the Discord as we get closer, but as I said, look out for voting in mid-October. We'll have some polls going up, so y'all can decide what we're going to be working on. Hey, Chewy, good to see you. And O'Coral. And Larabic. Wow, we got a lot of great people in chat tonight. That's a lie, unfortunately, O'Coral. I didn't upgrade that. Or update that. That's not the hexes of vegetation, that's the rivers of hex that are on the printer. Also from Brigadarung, also available from Steel Warrior. But the rivers rather than the trees. Data Nerd? So, Manix, if you, if you want to reach out to somebody who does have a 3D printer to see if they can print one for you, that probably wouldn't be terribly difficult to do if you wanted to go ahead and participate anyway. We have a lot of people in the Discord who do 3D printing, and while I won't guarantee that I can print you one myself, I'm sure we can find someone who is willing to print and send you one. Oh, now he's offended. Really want to get a 3D printer. You know, we gave one away earlier this year. I think when we hit 1,000 followers, we did a giveaway of an FDM 3D printer, and that's likely something that's going to repeat itself once we hit another milestone here. We did 1,500 and gave away some dice a couple months ago now. we are going to cross the... Well, we already crossed the 1,600 threshold a while ago, so I think the next big one is probably going to be 2,000. Maybe 1,750. I don't know. Depends. Depends how it goes. But I'd love to put some more 3D printers out there into the wild. Nobody fucking sponsors me. And, like, I've seen some other streamers get, like, sponsor deals from people where they've given them, like, a bunch of resin printers to give away, and I'm like, that's cool, I'm just gonna buy some and give them out. Just use funds from the stream itself, from the subscriptions from awesome people like yourself. I like to take that money and turn it around into improvements and support for the stream and the community. Larabic, you have a fantastic night, my friend, and good luck with the swim lessons tomorrow. To Square, thank you for the reminder. I swear we're gonna have some actual interesting redemptions for channel points here in the near future. It's a notable weakness of the stream. It's something that we're working on. And I don't think Shock21 is here right now, but yeah, he's been printing up a storm on the printer we sent to him earlier this year. Yes, Sumitha. I'm kind of circling that one. I've been considering what moment I want to do of that and how to build the surrounding environment. It's on my list. I need to make a couple of 3D printed pieces to make that possible.
Go ahead and glorb that paint on anywhere. It's not like we're trying to get inside the lines or anything.
We're not. We're not, though. Really just trying to get some good globs and pips of white so I can blend them in here. Still not the best at this part, but every time you do a model, you get a little bit better. A little bit here, a little bit on top here. On the blade. WJ, it is unlikely only because after this stream I still have to do a bunch of cleaning and cook myself dinner. It's not likely tonight, but I think tomorrow is quite likely because I have nothing specific going on. I don't even have to head into town tomorrow. You'd be very, very likely to get a game of Aliens with us then. And I think I told Vergaderung that too. Well, I'm not sure if Vergaderung's going to be free tomorrow. But maybe we can con Rio into playing. Hell yeah, Ren! We got a channel devoted to it on the Discord. It is called Sonic Electronic Ball Breakers. And you can grab your ultimate badass tag in there and get notified when people are looking for games of aliens. We got nukes. We got knives, sharp sticks. I started trying to play Alien Isolation the other day. I don't know if I have it in me. It's a lot. It's a lot. Beautiful game. But I don't know if I'm that masochistic. I'm masochistic, I just don't know if I'm that masochistic. You know what I mean?
If you don't respect the cat, you're gonna get the BAP.
Stream it. You want me to stream Alien Isolation, you maniac? It seems profoundly unpleasant. Yes, I do, Data Nerd. I was just thinking that before I started streaming today. I'll make sure I get that done. I'm impressed with my ability to handle myself entirely on my own right now. I haven't stopped moving all week. I'm a grown-up, and I don't die when people leave me alone. Praise me. As far as channel points, you can have a big BattleTech game on your table. This is one of the ways I'm actually looking to use up channel points. Manix the Lemur is next Thursday, maybe the first of our tabletop game streams. It will not be an audience participation one as much, more just like a tech test. Probably playing a skirmish game of Warcaster with my buddy Hethrier live on Twitch. And after that, we're going to try running some kind of versus chat style games. So keep an eye out for that if that interests you. And yeah, I'm thinking people can spend channel points to do things in the game. Maybe even spend channel points to break the rules a wee little bit for those of you who have accumulated plenty. I think we're probably going to try out the Aliens board game, Another Glorious Day in the Core, because there's a game mode where one player plays as the aliens. This guy. And then everybody else plays as an individual Marine or character. You made a character base for Conquest. Avash, what made you? What did you make? There's that high contrast I'm looking for. You gotta be real gentle with the blending when you're doing this, because it wants to blend so much that if you're aggressive, you just make that mud. Nobody wants mud. I'm not going to watch it right now, Roland, but I'll tell you what, I'll pull it up and take a look at it in a minute, huh? Happen to be in the middle of painting a 54mm Colonial Marine. Fuck yeah, Manix. Nice. Which, is it a particular Colonial Marine or just anybody? I saw that Brendan Fraser was going to be in a new CW show. CW shows are really, really hit or miss. I don't mind them as many people, as much as many people seem to. Admittedly, a lot of them are shit. But, like, the 100 was fucking great. It wasn't, like, the greatest television anyone's ever made, but it was some of the better science fiction that ran for as long as it did and that was on at the time that it was. Admittedly, the last season was fucking nonsense, but, you know, it's hard to end a show. I've watched much, much worse finales than that. But some CW shows are really good. Some are shameful trash, yes, but not all. I think it's just anybody. Limited run resin group of models. If I was gonna paint a particular Colonial Marine statue, it would have to be Dwayne Hicks. It would have to be. No, not necessarily. I would also accept Hudson. No love for Lieutenant Gorman? Oh my god. Sanchez, certainly you mean Vasquez. I'm just sure that's what you mean. Right. Somebody said illegal alien, or she thought they said somebody said illegal alien, signed up. You work with an actual Rick Sanchez, eh? Something Pickle Rick? Is this... what meme do I do? I don't even know. What's the popular one right now? I mean, somebody brought up Rick and Morty, so I've got a meme, right? They're like, oh, here I go killing again, and everyone's like, ha 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 ha. I haven't even watched... I think I'm like 2 seasons behind on Rick and Morty. Not for any particular reason. I like Rick and Morty. I think that, Dan Harmon's fucking hilarious. I'm a big Community fan. Oh, thank you so much, Bueno. Yeah, I'm getting better at doing this in a reasonable amount of time. One model at a time. I still think one of the best jokes in Rick and Morty was the marriage counseling episode, where where poor Morty's parents were just so fucked up, so vile and codependent that they essentially destroyed the alien marriage counseling service. That was fun. Yeah, I saw that they actually got Christopher Lloyd to dress up as Rick, which is kind of perfect. Well, I mean, he was modeled after him, you know, after all. Alright, I may end up coming back to do another pass of white because obviously his helmet is a little dull compared to some of these other pieces. But, that's not bad, huh? Might actually tone this down a little bit. That's real bright. You get a little slightly more subtle reflection. Not subtle, but, you know, less extreme. Still think the best Rick and Morty thing done was the reenactment of the crazy real corkscrew? Yes, I have. Which was definitely something. Noob Corpse, how you doing, man? We're working on our men-at-arms. One bit at a time. I'm making this real, like, I know, it's awful shiny. I'm probably gonna come in and do, like, a bunch of little, nicks and cuts and scratches as the final step on these guys. Really trying to push that NMM. I don't even care if it's extreme. These guys polish their armor. I kind of got to do it pretty bright if I want to distinguish it from the blue of their robes. And you see, like, with this guy, I need to do one more pass of white to get him up to that level. He's duller. And I need to do the chainmail on his face. But, you know, one thing at a time. Alright, on to the armor on another guy. How are we doing? We're at 8 o'clock, so we're going to be starting the storm report in about 30 minutes. With that in mind, I am going to take a very, very quick bio break. Take my dog out, just to make sure she doesn't, you know, explode while I'm busy on Twitch, because I feel like that would be rude to let that happen. I will be right back. We're going to do a little bit more armor work, and we're going to start the storm report in about 30 minutes, so I will see you in a second. You know, Kursala, I'd be on board, but I have some terrible news to announce. I'm actually out of beer right now, I just discovered. I found out that if you're in a house, and no one in that house is regularly going to the store to buy things don't just appear in the fridge. Crazy, I know. I'm gonna have to go solve that tomorrow. I'm not too psyched about that. Oh, Mr. Shadow Paradox, thank you so much for the follow, man. Welcome to the stream. Food does not respawn. Thankfully, she did stock me up with a lot of food. I've got a lot of options. I just have to make them myself. But I gotta go get some. I gotta go get some more beer. I can't just like be sober. That's ridiculous. How am I supposed to live my life sober? Oh, sounds awful. This guy needs some more work, but I am gonna keep him down for now, and let's do a little bit of the blue. We still have just about 18 minutes, it looks like, till the storm report's gonna kick off, so... you know what? I should actually have some water. Aha! I knew I had a bottle of water. Ah, there we go. That's both of them. Third of a bottle of water. Probably a good idea. Probably a good idea. Alright, let's mix up just a touch more cobalt blue and white into this nice baby blue I've been using. What are some more Battle Royale style movies? Guys, Jack, can you help me out? I was just talking earlier about how I watched the Belko Experiment. I wasn't not a huge fan. I feel like it had some wasted opportunities in it. I'm a big fan of the original Battle Royale and Battle Royale 2 for that matter. What are some other Battle Royale style movies that I might not have seen? I'd very much like to know. I'm a fan of movies like, I've always liked Cube. You know, movies where it's like, you are in a mysterious and terrifying scenario. Now, murder one another or survive somehow. I've always liked those premises. Battle Royale is obviously one of the best known versions of that, being an older film and being, you know, as over the fucking top as it is. But it's a great one. And Belko was clearly trying to do that. I just it didn't go far enough for me. Battle Royale with cheese. It's fucking terrible. Jesus Christ. Condemned? I saw Condemned. I didn't like Condemned all that. It was like, it had the cheese, it had the cornball over the topness, but I don't know, it didn't do much for me. I guess it was fun. It was probably more fun than the Belko experiment. I haven't seen Ready or Not, The Hunt, or Kill Theory. I'll have to look those up. Machine God had a few too many old fashions tonight. Oh my lord! You can send some of the alcohol my way. I just ran out. It's terrible. How you doing, Machine God? It's good to see you, man. Get a shout out for Machine God Ur, by the way. He's been a bit busy to stream lately, but from the sound of things, he might be getting back to it pretty soon. And there's a stream you're not gonna want to miss, particularly if you're into BattleTech painting. Which, if you're not, then hanging out over there for a few minutes, you will be. Frustrated with your Timberwolf model, because I don't know what the fuck Blender's doing with itself sometimes. Yeah. It's, you know, that's the case with all those 3D modeling programs, man. Like, ZBrush is... even Fusion 360. They're powerful, they can do all these things, and sometimes they completely disappear up their own asses. Sometimes you're like, do this simple thing, and it's just like... ties itself up into a knot and dies. And it's not like it's something you did, because you'll go back to it like an hour later and try to do exactly the same thing, and it'll just work that time. It's some combination of the previous tasks that you've done and what you're telling it to do now. It's quite frustrating. Data Nerd, if you felt like it, send me the names of those 3 movies in a Discord DM. I'd like to look up one of them tonight and put it on while I'm doing stuff, because I'm on kind of a Battle Royale social commentary kick at the moment after watching Squid Game. By the way, I feel like maybe I wasn't totally fair to Squid Game earlier. If that's the sort of thing that interests you, if you like that kind of Battle Royale setup, do watch Squid Game. It does a few things that other things like it don't do. I think most notably, it has... Now, again, the metaphors in it are very, very tortured by the end, in my opinion, but I think most notably, it has an angle of knowledge and consent to it that most other similar movies do not have, and it really drives home that whole, like, we are participating in our own torture by participating in the global economy. Usually in movies like that, it's like, nobody knew it was gonna happen, it's terrible, and oh god, and Squid Game is more like, they didn't necessarily realize what was gonna happen, but then after it happens, they are given a chance to decide they don't want to do it. And a surprising number of people still want to. Which, again, I think being a metaphor for modern economic participation, it's kind of necessary to do something like that, because, yeah, we often know just how unfair it is, we often know just how fucked we are, and yet there's this voice inside of us that goes, yeah, but I might win. And if I did, that would be sweet. Because we're, you know, stupid. We're desperate, whichever way you want to paint it. got about 10 minutes left. That should be enough for doing this coat and getting it blended out. Should be. Probably won't be because I just said that. Oh shit, is there a new episode of Doom Patrol out right now? I just realized today's the 23rd, isn't it? Can anyone confirm that there is currently a new episode of Doom Patrol Season 3, Episode 1 available? Can anyone confirm that? Because I very much want to know if that's the case. Fucking fantastic. Fantastic. That is very exciting. And yeah, it's looking like for movie night, which is going to be this Saturday. We are going to be watching several episodes of Doom Patrol Season 1. So if you're curious what I'm talking about, and why I get so excited for watching Doom Patrol, the first 3 episodes, fuck, there goes my night. This Saturday on the Thunderhead Studio Discord, starting around 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, I'm going to be streaming the first 3 to 4 episodes of Doom Patrol Season 1. If you have not seen it and you are at all curious, please feel free to show up and check it out. It is one of my favorite television shows that is currently on. It is a DC superhero universe show. If you're not familiar with the Doom Patrol, it's very much... It's like X-Men was before X-Men became, hey, Wolverine. Look at Wolverine. Look, he's got claws. Look at him doing stuff. Which is kind of all X-Men was after a little while. I'm gonna spoil all of it. Don't check any of your PMs, Rodan, because I'm gonna watch it and I'm just gonna be like, bam, 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 Candlemaker this, Dorothy that. It's gonna be disgusting. I just rewatched the last few episodes of Season 2, and I have to say, I really like that moment right at the end when Dorothy's going in to face her responsibilities, and her mother hands her this, like, flint-tipped spear. She's like, here, you need a weapon. And Dorothy, this little girl, just has this wonderful moment where she's like, no, I got it. And she imagines up this, like, glowing energy spear with a hammer on one end. It's just this amazing moment of confidence from a character that has been lacking in any sort of esteem or confidence for her entire run in the show. She imagines herself a weapon. She uses her power. You stream immediately, and it's like, oh shit, look at the time! Well, that was the storm report, guys, see ya, boop! Hit my fucking emergency end stream button. Why don't I have one of those? Because I'd hit it by accident. That's why I don't have it. Okay, never mind. I'd be going to hit like a RoboCop button, and it would just be like, boop, stream over. At least that's what I would say afterwards, when the stream didn't continue. I'd be like, oh, whoops, guys, it was a mistake. HBO Max is one of the few services that I pay for that I feel like is really worth it. A lot of them I'll pay for a little bit and then cancel them. Like Shudder and crap like that, because it'll be like one movie that's available, or AMC, like one movie, one show. I watch it and then I cancel, and then I never look back, but HBO is pretty consistently worth having. But then that's been true since like the mid-90s. particularly now that so many movies are releasing, like, simultaneously in theaters and streaming. And I'll tell you, the one thing I like about HBO that I don't like about Disney, and one of the reasons I'm probably not going to have Disney Plus much longer, is when Disney releases movies simultaneously for streaming and in theaters, they then charge you more money to watch them. Just fucking crazy. I'm paying for Disney Plus. I'm like, I've got Disney Plus. Maybe I'll watch, like, Black Widow. It's like, pay us another $20. And I'm like, fuck you. You can go to hell, Disney. Pay you another $20 fucking to watch a movie I don't really want to watch. It's ridiculous. HBO Max is just like, are you paying for the service? Awesome, here's a movie. I don't want to, like... Here's the thing, though, Data Nerd. Like, that's true for now, but... I don't like Disney. Just as a company, I don't fucking like Disney. I don't like the way they do almost anything. So for me to pay them money for Disney Plus is already a capitulation on my part. And they're just gonna keep acting scummy. They're gonna keep monetizing every possible way they can. And, like it's not even a question. They will. Because it's smart for them to do so. I don't really want to participate in it, though. I don't really give a shit about anything Disney Plus is releasing. On some level, I guess I kind of want to watch the Obi-Wan show like everybody does. And they do, yes, Elder, and I don't deny that. I'm not gonna pretend like they're doing something wrong by being a company. It's the same thing I say about Games Workshop, with everybody being mad about them monetizing or rather demonetizing fan films. It's like, well, of course they were gonna do that. This is their bread and butter. This is how they make money. Of course they're gonna do that, which is why I look at Disney and I'm like, of course they're gonna do it. I'm not like boycotting in the sense that I expect them to change. It's just I know what they're gonna do, and I don't want to pay for it. Well, see, but you get your money's worth out of a Data Nerd. I watch things on Disney Plus rarely, and the things I watch that I have watched on it, I don't necessarily want to keep watching. Like, I really don't give a shit about the new Star Wars shows. Some part of me is like, I kind of want to watch Obi-Wan, but not that much. Why do they think people go pirate stuff? Because their choices suck. I mean, yeah, we're back to the fucking glory days of cable at this point, and it's sad because I got into streaming in the early 2000s when it was like it was magnificent, you guys. For those of you who might not have been there, who might have got into streaming later than that, it was glorious. Those magical days we had where you could watch almost anything you wanted between just a few streaming services before they figured out that they could nickel and dime you for every single fucking thing. And now we're just back to cable. We're back to cable. You gotta buy every single channel that you want to have, and oh, if you're lucky, you can get a package. And everybody's trying to make their own streaming service, and it's just, oh god, this is, this is why it pisses me off, the notion that, but the competition, it drives the creativity and it makes the product better. No, it fucking doesn't. This product has not improved in 10 years. This product has done nothing but get worse and more restrictive. This product was fine 10 years ago, and it is notably worse now than it was then. I don't give a shit about bringing you a better product. That's right, folks. You heard it here first. My anti-capitalistic stance is based entirely on the availability of streaming platforms. That is some fantastic economic analysis from me, no doubt. My usual disclaimer, guys, don't listen to streamers for opinions. We're all pretty stupid. Even the ones of us who sound smart, we only sound smart, I promise. We're not. That bad, huh, Noob Corpse? What you working on? Oh, it's about that time. It's about that time. Let me finish this shoulder. Just happy it's so easy to find anime for free online. This is true. And I will say that this is one thing that has really improved is the availability of anime thanks to streaming. Because even if you have to pay for it on particular services, on your Crunchyroll, on your Funimation, on whatever, the fact is, it's available now and it wasn't before. Long periods of time where it really didn't matter if you were willing to pay or not. Even finding it was almost impossible. And now, while you may have to pay for it, I think that's ultimately fine. You can also find it for free. But, you can get it. That is something. When I was a kid, the only anime we got were, I mean, there weren't many. God, excuse me. These days, you even get dubs that don't suck. And that's miraculous. Yeah, DBZ, Gundam Wing, Sailor Moon, Pokemon. You know, Toonami happened, and then we got some cool stuff. You know, we got like Big O and more Dragon Ball, but it was all very heavily curated. You couldn't just go out and get whatever you wanted. Nowadays, you can find some crazy shit. All right, let me do these quick blends, and then we'll roll right into the Storm Report. They're not. No, come on. They got a tuxedo mask. Sailor Moon did have a kind of a wicked case of the not gays, where the writers have to go way, way out of their way to be like, no, we swear, they're not. Look, here is a character of the opposite gender that they're totally attracted to. All right, they're out of the story. Let's keep going. Like, just to prove it to you. It's really not necessary, but they do it anyway. Oh wow, that's pretty rough, Sumitha. I never really watched Beast Wars, so I didn't follow any of that. Hey, what's up, Cat of Carmony? How you doing today, man? Shouldn't you be off boring Twitch to tears with Alaric Kerensky? Oh no, it's chaotic. Oh, that guy. Oh my god. I'll have you know that I did not say anything anywhere near as mean as what Alaric said to you the other night. I did not say that I was disappointed in you for being who you are. I thought it, but I didn't say it. He said that. I said something much kinder. Oh, I always like your submission, Chaotic. It's getting a little weird. I'm just gonna pretend that we didn't say that. Yeah, I like you, Ren. You're funny. Is it tiny legs? Because I admit, I'm a little excited for more tiny legs. Let's finish these few blends I'm doing here, and we'll roll right on over and take a look at what y'all have been posting. God damn, I'm really starting to get pretty happy with some of these blends. That one on the arm went real nice. Look at that. Need a bit more blue up on this one, but that's okay. I don't feel bad, Ren. When I was a kid, they used to have to tie a stake around my neck to get the dog to play with me. Still do, but they used to too. And he still wanted steak sauce. You know, Elder, they've made a couple that are pretty decent, but yeah, a lot of them go the same way, and they lean heavily on that new digital animation style that is cheap, but not terribly satisfying. Alright, so we got most of the way through an initial blended coat on the metal for the second model here, but, you know, I'm just not a fast painter. Still, I'm gonna really enjoy taking photos of these guys once they're all done. And I'm really looking forward to digging into this second set of bros here, since I'm not gonna be experimenting with paint techniques on every single one of these guys, because that's been what slowed me down so much with these guys. Is it's 4 trays, and for each one I was like, well, that didn't work, let me try this. That didn't work, let me try this, until we get to a point where we can do a pretty decent standardized NMM paint scheme. We're getting there. We're getting there. I have not, Sumitha. I know. I haven't felt like anything lighthearted. You might be able to tell for the last 24 hours I've been like, I want to watch stuff where people are forced to murder each other and cry about it the whole time, but I'll move out of that phase. I'll be like, I want to watch something fun. Alright, let me clean my brushes for just a second here, get my oil palette closed up. Clean my nice brush. Looking forward to those Game Envy brushes getting in. I think that they are going to be a boon to the oil painting process overall. Alright. I should actually pull up the storm report before we get going, more than likely, so I don't drop you into some kind of weirdo chat. Boom. Let's get going.
Alright, locusts and gentlemen, get ready to feast your eyes on glor paint and wet palettes.
Oh,
with the
Guardsman,
occasional culinary
you have my
atrocity
sympathy,
thrown
noob.
in on tonight's storm report, brought to you by viewers like you.
Alright, let's see what we've got tonight. Starting here at the top with Chaotic Harmony, Shas-O Tiny Legs is finished. Nice. Don't ever say he comes up short. His drone board's freehand says Tiny Legs in the Tao language. This is such a... Chaotic, I saw recently that you started an Instagram account specifically for your painting. Which, first of all, that's a great fucking idea, and I'm glad you did that. Secondly, feel free to post a link to it right here in chat so people can go follow it. Guys, go follow Chaotic if you haven't already. And third, tag fucking Warhammer community and painting Warhammer when you post this up, dude, because it's like the lottery, whether you get, like, noticed in the Warhammer painting community, but, you know, if you don't buy a ticket, you'll never win. And this one's fucking hilarious. So make sure that you put in the standard, the notice me please Warhammer tags on Instagram when you post this up. Because I want people to see this so badly. Just so that they can experience the pain inside that it makes me feel. Lovely freehand, love the highlights on the red. Good job with the basing combination of cork, tufts, and then it looks like the lava basing materials from Rainy River Designs, which of course you can always find by hitting ! Rainy River in chat to get a link over there to their RRD paints, basing materials, all kinds of fun stuff, including now some 6mm models, and you can also get Thunderhead Studio merch over there. So make sure you go check that out. That's... I don't want to encourage this behavior in the sense of the particulars of Shas-O Tiny Legs, but I do want to encourage this behavior in the sense that Chaotic Harmony had a concept based on some fucked up modeling, and you know what he did? He ran with it, and he finished it. That is worthy of praise. Chaotic Harmony, good fucking job on this, man. Lovely work on the freehand. It scares me. It scares me because Chaotic has been improving steadily over the last year and getting crazier that entire time. And it scares me because imagine what this guy's gonna do when he has the full range of painting techniques at his disposal and the confidence to do even wilder concepts. Because so much of painting is just confidence. It's just confidence. And the more confident he gets, the weirder things become. Oh, God. Well, thank you very much for sharing, Chaotic Harmony. And guys, go give him a follow on Instagram if you have not already. For that matter, go give him a follow on Twitch. Chaotic Harmony is a fucking great stream. And even paints sometimes. Here we have, from Amateur Paint Hour, inspired once again by Thunderhead's exquisite handling of... Oh, my God. Oh, just... How weird it is to read your own praise out loud sometimes. We're just gonna get to the good part here. Here we go. Present the final Larens for the foreseeable future. Bit rushed. Didn't have a ton of time to finish them, but pleased with the green cockpits and peeved at the annoying designs on the Atlas and Hawk that prevent them from having the same. A skilled painter probably could have done them, but I am not that painter. White looks better than normal, I think, where most of my time went. Dry brushing skills are still clumsy, but not overwhelming like before. Testing it on your skin did help a ton. Yes, that is... I'm glad that was helpful to you. Oh yeah, the white looks pretty good. Your panel lining is all excellent on that, and it looks like you using that hand trick just makes sure that you're dry brushing light enough that you keep the more subtle shading. These came together well. I do like the new Phoenix Hawk quite a lot. Though I will say though that seeing the large laser red-orange, it makes me want the cockpit glass to be the same color, because this just boom pops out so nicely against the rest of the colors. Love the work on the Banshee. Really digging that. And I'm a Jenner fan, so I always like seeing a Jenner. Yeah, the snow all looks really, really good. If I could pick out anything on here that I think you did a better job than I would have, it's in the snow basing. I'm personally not very good at it. It's something that I need to work on more. I've got a mini right now I need to do a snow base with. Good colors on it, though. I like the blue. Really just helps the whole thing pop down here on the rocks, which I guess might be ice chunks. Who knows? I really like the Banshee. The Banshee is the one that's standing out to me out of this group. Lovely work. Lovely, lovely work, Amateur Paint Hour, and thank you so much for sharing. Oh, you take it back, the Banshee is your favorite. Hey, there we go. Great minds and all that. Non-stop experiment for about 2 years now. At least it has paid off. Here we have from Mafik. There, I knew that had to be him. No tank waifus, only just world-building stuff art. Anyway, today's topic about the tactics in the Broken Void explosive slime. Oh, exploding slimes. Isn't like a Russian dog commits suicide bomb onto a tank or something, yeah, because that'd be depressing, but a different method. Slimes were known to harmless species in this world since the Broken Void Empire, and Blood Eyes cult seeing them as pets or cleaners. Basically, literally eat anything that does sound convenient, so they ignore them. On the other hand, some companies started training them to learn to pull the pin of an anti-tank grenade, then drop it and run off at a safe... Oh, so they just go in and drop bombs and then move away. That makes me far less depressed. Here, these are the methods of using them. Throw over the enemy vehicle passing by, and the slimes will drop explosives on them. Let them sneak into enemy's armory, put C4, sneak into somewhere the enemy can't reach, and the slimes will pull the trigger of a tear gas grenade. Since tear gas does not affect them. 2 enemy APCs and 4 platoons. You know the drill. Launch the adorable slime at... He has a little hat. He has a little hat. This says anti-tank slime on it. Just this little dude just sailing happily over the enemy and just kind of chucking a grenade as he goes. Here's the question, though. Do they tell the slimes that they're about to kill a bunch of people, or do the slimes think that they're just, like, happily depositing presents upon people? Oh, my lord. Jenny Joy. Oh, thank you so much for the... We keep getting rated during the final section of the stream. This keeps happening. Jenny Joy, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, raiders. Welcome to Thunderhit Studio. Ted Payne's Minis, thank you so much for that follow. We are currently in the last segment of the stream that we are doing tonight, but y'all are welcome in just the same. We just got started on the Storm Report, which is our community art share segment. So we're just kind of going over some art, some painted minis, and whatever the community would like to share with us. I've been doing some oil painting non-metallic metals on some Conquest figures tonight, which, since you have been kind enough to stop in, Gatalogic, thank you so much for the follow. I'll pop back to the other camera just so you can see what we've been doing, since, you know, we do painting around these places, and guys, if you haven't followed Jenny Joy O yet, you really should. Fantastic streamer. Great painter, wonderful welcoming community. How is everybody doing tonight, by the way? Hope you all are having fun. It's because we had a couple of Vosh that got to like 2 hours long. We're trying to avoid that in the future while still giving me time to focus on individual people's work. So we were working on these pair of guys tonight, kind of working up our non-metallic metal effects. It's not something that I do a lot of. Recently I've done more than I have in the past, and we've been working with oils, getting more and more familiar with them. He still needs some little detailing. You need some, like, scratches and gouges and whatnot, but, you know, I'm painting, like, 16 of these guys at once, so I'm trying to find the techniques that I can do fairly quickly. You can see this guy is a couple of steps behind that one. And here we've got a tray of fellows done in a similar style with a couple of different... Oh, my God, what did I do? I smeared some oil on... Oh, well. It's a nice thing about oil paints is you can just kind of smudge them off for the most part. But they're all going to be on trays like this in a big block of 16 swordmans. This guy actually needs a little bit more detailing now that I look at him. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, it's new to me. It is new to me. I've usually done true metallic metals. I've been dabbling in non-metallics for a little while now. Recently, I just kind of committed to learning them when I started working on this Sanguinius figure, which I'm doing for a friend of mine, but I still need to get back to finishing his torso and arm and get the rest of his pieces all done, but this has inspired a great deal more confidence in my non-metallic metals. It has got me using them on more projects. I will also say that oil paints. Oil paints are the fucking key. It makes doing this so much easier. Jenny Joy, how was your stream? What were you working on? I didn't get a chance to stop in before I got going. I hope that everything went well for you. I hope everybody had fun. But yeah, I'm going to be working some more. This Sanguinius in particular, I'm going to be getting back on the painting desk this Sunday. I'm probably not going to have it quite ready for the person that I want to give it to end of the month. But, you know, he's been waiting on it for a while. He can wait a little bit longer. Reviewing some shiny new Turbo Dork paints. I've heard good things about Turbo Dork. I've never used Turbo Dork myself. I'm a big Reaper, Vallejo, Pro Acryl, and most recently Rainy River Designs acrylic paint guy. And then most recently I've been doing a whole lot of oils, which I'll tell you one thing I love about oil paints is I buy a little tube of it and it lasts me the foreseeable future. I love that, not having to buy new pots of paint just all the damn time. But I've heard good things. Heard very good things about Turbo Dork. Go ahead and roll my overlay right back over into, here we go, taking a look at some art. They definitely have cool color names. That much is very true. And people seem to like their color shift paints quite a lot too. Yeah, have a great night. Ted Paints Minis, again, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you for stopping in. I hope that you have a good night, my friend. Speaking of Reaper, they have one of the richest paints I've ever seen for a dark leather. Which one, Noob Corpse? Jenny Joy, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you for stopping in. It's always a pleasure to see you. And of course, you just got done with the stream, so for the love of God, go relax. Go take care of your nights. But thanks for bringing your people in. Just started painting minis not long after following Jenny. Got a set of Reaper paints and love them. Went to the local store. All they had was Army Painter paints. Army Painter paints are tricky. The biggest problem I have with Army Painter paints is that they have inconsistent batch quality. Really. Like, they've got some really good paints. They've got some that I really like. I think their metallics are weirdly pretty good, fairly reliably. Yeah, Jenny, go take care of yourself, for God's sake. They have good primers. I tend to agree with that, Sumitha, but they have inconsistent batch qualities on their regular paints, and that makes them almost unbuyable, as far as I'm concerned. If you're paying as much as you are for these little pots of acrylic paint, and you're not getting the same product every time, that business needs to take a step back and seriously examine its process. That's kind of unacceptable. Valley Dweller, good to see you, man. How you doing? How are you liking miniature painting, Captain Gingerbeard? We around here, we paint a couple of minis. Yeah, every now and then. Once in a while. Guys like Rodan here. Here's the end of the... Hang on. Well, here's the end for the moment. Oh, okay, I was reading that wrong. Of my Isengard force, because this is all I have left of them. Here's Saruman and his brave companion, Wormtongue. Oh, it's a Brad Dourif figure. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I like this. Oh, I like this a lot, Rodan. Look at this. Look at the work he did on the Palantir here. That's nuts. That's fucking nuts. Airbrush and scale models for a while. Sucked at brush painting. Seemed like painting moves would be a great way to practice. Yeah, it's real addictive. Do you play any tabletop games, or you just do models, Captain? Out of curiosity. Let's talk about paint. Just came off a hiatus and need a lot of new paints. My top rankings. First of all, I really like Rainy River Designs paint. Kursala and Data Nerd right here in chat have been making that themselves for a while now, putting a lot of new glazes and technicals and new pigments into the line. Really, really like the work they're doing. As far as generally available paints that you're going to find in more places, I think Pro Acryl kind of blew everybody's brains, everybody's minds. What do you blow? You know what? Never mind. You know what? No, I'm not going to ask the internet that question. I'm not going to get the answers that I want. But it blew everybody's brain cases. Fucking. Okay. Blew their socks off. I'm really stumbling over this phrase here. Fuck. Pro Acryl kind of knocked it out of the park last year. Everybody's really, really impressed with them, from the quality of their paints to their prices to the quality of their dropper bottles. And I have a hard time arguing with them. Pro Acryl is some of the highest quality paint I've ever had in my entire life. As far as more generally available paints, Reaper and Vallejo are kind of king, in my opinion. Vallejo can be hit or miss depending on the specific paint, but most of it's pretty damn good. And then Reaper's like Master Series high density pigment paints are just fucking amazing. Just I've never had a bad experience with them. But yeah, I'm check out Rainy River Designs. They're a small business and do really, really good work. Want to play some tabletop games now and then a new city is probably worth a shot? Fuck yeah, Captain Gingerbeard, get after it. Roll some dice. I like your worm tongue, by the way. I like the really warm tones to his little underrobe that he's got here. You kind of captured Brad Dourif's, like, evil little face in here and everything. The only thing I wish he looked a little dirty. Like he had some grime or something on his face. He was always so gross in the movie. Really nice job, particularly on Saruman's robes and face. Look at that. Look at that Christopher Lee scowl. Ooh, that's good. I love the work on the staff, particularly on the Palantir. This looks great. The tiny little eye of Sauron and the little faint glow coming down here onto the rest of the pedestal. Damn. Rodan, you get better every model, man. You obviously put a lot of effort into this, and I think it shows. Really, really nicely done. I've got to pull out my Eowyn and Dernhelm and get them painted at some point here in the near future. All right, coming down. Here we have from Rio Hassenpfeffer. I almost got out. It's like gets in your head, you know? I was at least able to get a sketch of Cat out, and suddenly... Wait, what's happening? Hey, Data Nerd, I heard you like post-it card doodles, and Week of Chaotic Day 5, so I put a post-it doodle on top of a post-it doodle, and now Rio Hassenpfeffer's mind is broken! Oh my god. Oh, it's a cat doodle. She's adorable. And, oh my god. Oh, this is wonderful. It's a separate post-it, with Chaotic doing what Chaotic does best, which is just steal the fuck out of the spotlight.
If you don't respect Saruman? The cat, you're gonna get the bat.
There's a certain irony to everything that's going on here.
Here at Thunderhead Studio, we specialize in turning your shame into more shame.
And more. And more. And the answer to that, Kursala, is because Games Workshop, and they haven't... none of those models are new, are they, Rodan? I'm pretty sure those Saruman models are all like previous generation. Games Workshop mostly does heroic scale. They do really, really good sculpting for the most part, but a lot of their Lord of the Rings line they were trying to do true scale on from like 2000 onwards, and some of it's pretty questionable. That's the new Saruman? In that case, I have no explanation, and they fucked up. I guess that is the new Saruman, isn't it? Yeah, because the old one wasn't in that pose. Most of their new ones are pretty good, but true scale is tricky. True scale is really, really tricky. It's why I prefer heroic scale for the most part. They've leaned into heroic a little bit for the new Lord of the Rings models, like his head is a little bit enlarged, but that's just to make it easier to paint. I'm so offended on behalf of Cat. How dare you? How dare you, Chaotic? I know you didn't do it, but still somehow you did. Rio, thank you for sharing that with us today. Oh, here we have from Drakari. Just picked this up from my friend yesterday, feeling a lot of pressure to make it look amazing. If I remember right, it was his wife's first print, and she passed away back in April. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Any advice or suggestions welcome. They both like pink, and she wore a lot of black, thinking they both need to be in the final color palette. Pink and black. 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 Pink Pink and black. Now, if you want to take the pink and use pink mostly as a super high highlight and lean the rest of whatever you do with that down into the range of like magenta to red, then a black dragon with pink to magenta webbing would be pretty cool. So like if you think for most of the scales, like on the back of the head and for the fingle-fangles in the wing, do all of that in like black scale and lean that into the blue. Lean that into blue. Do your highlights in like a deep green blue for the black, and then do like the wing membranes, the underside of the belly, underside of the neck, stuff like that, more in the magenta to pink. I think that would be a really, really cool contrast, hot to cold. That would be something. Captain Gingerbeard, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Storm Chasers. Maybe black claws. Yeah, take it like out to pink around the fingers, you know? And then you could do black claw. Or, you know, if you're doing mostly black and then pink, then do the claws in more of a traditional bone white. They would actually stand out really, really well against that. That would be pretty cool. But just think about like every place that's going to be soft, doing magenta to pink. Everything that's going to be armored, doing your black to blue. And then lean into bone for things like maybe the tail tip, the claws, the teeth, stuff like that. Phaedros, welcome in, my friend. How you doing tonight? Good to see you. I like the base. But, you know, take your time and make sure you have fun. That's what's going to be most important. The chest would all... Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, the whole underbelly. Do that. Like in pink. Cephalopod Studios. Everybody's coming in late tonight. I'll show you. I don't give a shit. I do what I want. This is what we've been working on, Cephalopod. And then we got this guy most of the way along, but not quite there yet. He lacks that contrast pop. You know what? You're lucky. Cephalopod, you're fucking lucky that I love to show off. Thank you so much, Cephalopod. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with him. I need to do some detailing on them, but I finally got enough that I've got some like trays of guys that all look fairly decent. This guy doesn't have that contrast. He doesn't quite have that pop yet. I need some more white. I think this unit's going to look pretty good when I get it done, and the rest of them should come a little faster. Yeah, all oils. All oils. I am restricting myself to oil painting for my Conquest figures at this point. How you doing, by the way, Cephalopod? It's good to see you, man. This is why it always takes so long. Yeah. Y'all with your opinions. Y'all with your opinions. Alright, let's keep going. Dracari, I hope that's helpful. And I would love to see how that starts to come together. Snagged some BX Commando droids today. Nice! I always like the BX. The BX Commando droids in the Clone Wars were like them finally letting us know that not all because it's funny to me that the battle droids in Star Wars were cartoonier in the live action thing where they originated than they were in the cartoon based on Star Wars. Like, the battle droids in the fucking children's cartoon and not the main movie are far more adult and threatening than the battle droids in the movie that was made theoretically for adults to also enjoy. And I think everyone noticed that, and it irritated everyone, including Dave Filoni, because he was like, let's just make up another droid that isn't a fucking joke. Yeah. I almost threw up a little bit in my mouth when the one, like, hands the lightsabers to General Grievous, and he snatches them, and the droid goes, excuse me. I'm like, shit, fuck. What am I watching? How has my life come to this? I was there on like, the release date, too. I was outside the theater. I was waiting for midnight for the midnight showing. I was already disappointed. Here we have from Machine God or Lords of War. Man, I need to learn how to texture. I know the feeling, man. This is what you get for doing complex renders. These do look real nice, though. Got the Ragnarok over here. We got the Atlas right in the middle, and then we got that new Jupiter. Is that what we're going with? Definitely not Zeus. Definitely not Zeus. That would be crazy. That would be copyright infringement. And we're just not about that here. Absolutely not. Captain Gingerbeard, oh yeah, we do some Battletech here. We do a little bit of Battletech here. I've designed a whole line of 3D printable Battletech terrain. And I've got a bunch of my own sculpts of the original Dougram Unseen designs available for free on Thingiverse. Do you 3D print at all? Because I'll tell you, if you're into 3D printing, Battletech is the place to be right now. For the same token, Anakin and Padme had better chemistry in the animated series. Yeah, everything was better in the animated series. Guys! The Clone Wars is better than Star Wars. Fine, maybe I should watch the new anime show. I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? It's probably better. This is like a weird curse of Star Wars and DC. Somehow the animated features are just always better than the live-action ones. I guess I should just give into it at this point, right? Shade of the Crusades knows what I'm talking about. Shade of the Crusades is like, fuck yeah, man. You know what was great in the cartoon? Darth Maul. He had a character. He had a real voice. He had something to say. He had pain. He had motivation. Oh, you're muted. Oh, well, that's fine. Unfortunately, I don't know any ASL because I'm an ignorant asshole, but there, you get a wave. That's for you, buddy. Thanks so much, Shades. Hit and miss, but worth a watch. You know, as long as I'm still paying for Disney Plus, I'll probably go ahead and check it out. Like, I talk a lot about what I'm going to watch, what I'm not going to watch, what I care about and I don't care about, but the truth is, I'm just like a soulless pop culture consumption machine, and if it's in front of me, I'll eventually watch it. Really nice render on this one, though, Machine God. And guys, if you don't know, Machine God has his very own Patreon where files like these are available to 3D print. I don't think he's here right now, but if anybody felt like, I gotta put that up. I gotta put that up so that we can drop that link in chat whenever we need to. I will remember to do that tonight. Nice render on that, Machine God, and thank you so much. Yeah, no, see, Sumitha knows me all too well, because I look over and I'm like, oh, I could watch this. I'm probably gonna watch Harley Quinn because of you, for that matter. The show, the Harley Quinn show, that's the one. Here we have from Cyber and Night, Metalcore Collectibles, Throwback Thursday number 9. Back after a week off, let's do something a bit offbeat. Getting back to kinda 2008 and touched up 2015. Here we have a basic attempt at the best grunt out there, the Oz Leo mobile suit. Oh, yes. I think the original intention back in 2008 was for a Supreme Commander mod. Never really went anywhere. Then in 2015, back when I was working with Shapeways, the idea was to produce for myself a 1/144th model. Kind of moot now that Bandai has a kit, finally, and I also have 4 of said kit. Yeah, that'll happen. But the story isn't quite over yet for this model. 2022 should see me coming back to it, maybe not for a Leo proper anymore, but something that will certainly emit those grunt vibes, just the kind of vibe I like. This is the part where I criticize the fact that Leo can't turn its head, and then I proceed to geek out over the fact that this exists at all. Man, this would be I can't see this as a Supreme Commander mod. The Leo would be fucking tiny in the scale of Supreme Commander, wouldn't it? It would be like almost impossible to see. Would be so small. That game gets crazy huge. It would just be like basic infantry and swarms. Oh yeah, Captain Gingerbird, dude, you should check out my Instagram. I have an entire Battletech city posted there, where I'm telling you, the only thing I did on it was filler primer, dry brush. Well, I take that back. Filler primer, airbrush, dry brush. Like, that's it. There are many ways to mitigate print lines, both as a designer and as a painter. And admittedly, a lot of designers out there aren't doing it. And I think that'll change. I think that'll change as time goes on. Are we gonna do the, you're gonna make me show the Borealis. Where is it? All right, give me, you know what? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second and we'll take a look at the Borealis. Okay, I'm back. So, speaking of things I need to paint, this is the Borealis dropship for Battletech. which, actually, I'm going to be showing it. Hang on. Come out a little bit. It's a big boy. I love this damn thing. I'm so, so proud of it. I want you to know, as you look at this, that this also, all I did, I printed this on an Ender 3. All that has been done to it is filler primer, airbrush, dry brush. Most notably because the parts of it that I want to do by hands, I haven't gotten to yet because I'm a profoundly lazy person with far too many things to paint at any given time. But this is our fully hex compatible, and if you look on the top, you can actually see the subtle little visual markings in places that mark where each hex begins and ends. So you can plop this down. Does it scale well to the new scene scale? Yes, this is 6mm. This is 6mm scale. You can tell because you see these pods on the side? Well, there's a mech bay in there. With a little vertical launch tube and a little clamp and everything. This is entirely 3D printed. And that snaps closed in a very satisfying fashion that ensures it doesn't open back up. That's not all you can do with this thing either, because you open up these bad boys, and you reach in and you slide out a little pin. And of course I don't have any of the other modules handy to show off, but this comes right off. And now you have, yeah, that's right, this entire thing prints supportless, for that matter. This is, when I make files, I make them so that anyone can print them. I make it so that even if you have a fairly poorly calibrated, shut up, Kursala, with your technicalities, hogwash. I make things with crappy printers in mind because I got started with a crappy printer and not knowing what the fuck I was doing, and I got some files that weren't very friendly, and it gave me a bad taste in my mouth. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this thing. The point is, though, these modules come out, and there are additional modules available, so you can make this thing into a cargo hauler for, like, shipping crates. It can haul gas cargo. We have sections that turn it into a light aircraft carrier, little aerospace sections, and each one changes the vertical height of each individual hex, because this whole thing is made such that every place on it that is a legitimate hex to stand in, you can go ahead and balance a model on real easy. So even if you're not using, like, rules for this to be an aerospace asset and the hexes are also marked on top of it, you can still use this as a pretty cool piece of terrain. This is just PLA. This is just PLA. This entire thing. Think we'll ever have an artillery version? So we've talked a little bit about the pocket warship concept, Sumatha, and yes, we need to release some more modules for this guy to expand it. And then my engines were heavily inspired by the Roger Young from Starship Troopers. I am very happy with this, and yeah, that satisfying click. Let's do it one more time. You get it up to the microphone so you can hear it. Here's the interior, which you lock in place by knocking over your models because you're not paying attention. Thankfully, nothing broke. You lock in place by putting this little pin in there. Slide that in. Now this won't come off. Ooh. Oh, that's satisfying. Oh, I like it. A lot of it has to do with print orientation, too, Captain Gingerbeard. Even the pins. Like, this whole mechanism, the pins that lock these doors on, these are also 3D printed. Take a look at it, man. I really think you'll like it. Anything of mine, by the way, you can find on Steel Warrior Studios. I don't know any place to put this now. It's gonna go on the floor for a minute. Alright, let's get back to the storm report. Oh yeah, you can put mechs inside the bays too and transport them in there. And for that matter, the hexes inside the bays are marked such that you can put the Borealis on the table, matched up to 33mm hexes, open the doors, and your mechs will be standing in legal spots from which they can then walk out and into the game without having to just, like, spawn them randomly. Like, it is a perfectly legal hex position because I'm a little obsessive about things like that. Yeah, a little bit. Sumatha, any variant ideas you have, man, feel free to pitch them, because the Borealis is certainly due for a Mark II here at some point. I love these Leos, though. I love all Leos. Leos are among the coolest mobile suits ever to be designed. Well, I eagerly await the 2022 update for these Cyber Knight. Absolutely eagerly await that. Coming down, let's see what we got from Larabit. Cleared this big boy of my paint. Hang on. Cleared this big boy off my painting table. There we go. More Gene Stealer cultists coming up. Still owe you a group shot of them. You do. I've been pressing Larabik to do a proper group shot of his Gene Stealer cultists for months, and I am looking forward to when he finally gets around to making that happen. Nice job on this. Really nice, vibrant colors. I love the red, purple, and green combination. Really, all these colors are well used. We got a nice, like, ochre yellow over here, separated from the green by this kind of brown to blue-gray on the axe, which keeps these from clashing and looking weird too much. Same thing for purple next to green. Can be a little odd, a little Harlequin-like, but we have the gray and the red between that going to the green, so this actually works nicely. A little blue pouch down here. We got some toadstools. Nice handwork spotting those. And some nice markings on the... He's a badger, right? He's like a badger man. And good work on the turf and the tufting. And if this means you're going to get back to some more Gene Stealer cultists and I'm going to get that group shot I want so much, I am just all the more excited for it. Larabik, thank you for sharing that with us tonight, man. Here we have from Ren Momo, 3D printed tabletop standard guard. Oh, they look nice. I like the inclusion of all the goggles on them, too. Man, I've said it once, I've said it 100 times, 3D printing is the future of this hobby. I didn't realize people had actually made files for Cadians given the prevalence of their plastics, but it gives you some more poses to work with, doesn't it? Like this kind of low red. Why am I forgetting what that's called? That's just low ready, yeah. With the rifle at the low ready there. Kind of in a walking position on a number of them. You get a kneeling pose out of it, which I don't think you still get out of their plastics box. Nice work, Ran. Good, clean prints. I like the look of the basing. Cool color scheme, too. I like the kind of red in the center with the white outer extremities, and then you have just sort of like a linen fabric undersuit that they're wearing. Very cool. Very cool, Ren. Thank you so much for sharing. Your lighting is kind of bad. Yeah, dude, taking pictures of minis is as hard or harder than painting them in the first place. If you want some tips on that in the Showcase channel, one of our pinned posts has some general miniature photography tips. So go check that out. Here we have from Vergaderung, worked on dry brushing a bunch more mechs. Might have to work some more plum in some of them. Picked up a pack of the DRD trucks when I ordered the Feldherr Mini 90 case. Very nice stiff case that holds 26 mechs. Oh, these are coming together wonderfully. Oh, these are coming together wonderfully. Yeah, I would say definitely, like, I love this base color. I know I say it to just fucking everybody, but I'm just gonna say one more time, push that contrast, man. Push that contrast. Because you could get so much more dramatic highlighting out of these guys, but for a dry brush job, this is looking real nice. I always love your Merrick Militia, though. I like the little DRD trucks. I haven't painted any of the DRD trucks yet. I was just on a voice call with them last night, and we were talking about some things. Some things I can't strictly tell you about, except to say that they're very interesting, and that 2022 may be a very compelling year for 6mm 3D printable assets. You imagine when 3D printing cars becomes a possible everyday thing? Give it a couple decades, man. 3D printing is gonna continue to explode. Lovely work on these. Very, very smooth, and really just goes to show how smooth you can be with dry brushing. It doesn't have to look chalky. It really doesn't, folks. Vergaderung, I am glad that you are streaming again, guys. If you're not following Vergaderung and you want to see some Battletech getting painted, particularly some Merrick Militia, go give that man a follow. I'm the same way, Phaedros. I love a good kit. I love a good kit. I like styrene plastic in particular. It has a lot of features that 3D printed resin does not, but I am not willing to pay the exorbitant prices that have become the norm for styrene model kits in the last 10 years. They have skyrocketed, and I know that it's an expensive process. I know that people have to spend money to get the molds required to make styrene sprues, but certain companies have pushed it to the point that it is straight fucking ridiculous. Thank you so much for getting that shout out. Bark Axe, how are you doing today, my friend? If you're not following Barkax Minis, another really, really great painter and excellent streamer. Go give that man a follow. Follows are free, folks. Here we have from Avash working on some of those Conquest bases. I saw you working on the hero base. I dig it. I dig it. Avash, I don't know if have you seen my Fields of the Fallen bases? I'm about to do an update release to them. I've improved the way that they print. I've improved the number of the features on them, and I'm going to have a few more options coming out for them. I only mention it because this kind of reminds me of it with all the broken shields on it. Really, really good work on these, though. Loving the look of these Household Knights back. Oh, I want a closer picture. They've got my helmets on them. Oh my god, they look so cool. I dig the yellow on the crossbowmen. That's a really nice touch. Minis eat into my golf budget, or maybe the other way around. Well, it's all about perspective, isn't it, Big Tigerman? Big Tigerman? Big Tiger Man? God only knows. I think I like the second one better. You don't have the helms yet? Oh. Oh, yeah, I guess they don't have heads. Or do they? I can't tell. Hang on, I'm going to open up a bigger version and look closer. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's better. No, they're headless. Oh, Christ. Oh, and some of the men-at-arms don't have arms at all. Oh, it's sick. Oh my god. Yeah, the closer view is nice. I really like that sort of checkerboard patterning you did on a couple of the shields on those men-at-arms. Is that what the rest of the shields are going to look like? Because that's fucking awesome, and I hope so. Really, really nice work on the armor on your crossbowmen too, man. Particularly from this angle, that looks fucking great. I'm glad I opened up a larger version of that. Men-at-armless. Some companies are definitely a mite bit greedy. Here's the thing. If you tell them they're allowed to charge the prices that they want to because you keep buying from them, then you can hardly blame them when they continue to then charge those prices. We have done this to ourselves, and now we have to dig ourselves back out of the hole that we dug ourselves into. So, you know, 3D print as much as you can is, I guess, what I'm saying. Lovely, lovely work, Avash, and thank you for sharing that progress with us. It is always wonderful to see somebody else coming along on their 100 kingdoms, considering how many have devoted themselves to those weird dwarves and the crazy space elves. Here we have from Kursala, first test print of the new Glaive tank. Someone on another server suggested fast red, so I decided to just use all my reds, base coated with Amore, then dry brushed with Sweetheart, blushing Axolotl, and finally Burning Skull, all Rainy River Designs colors, of course. Then I put a top coat of Ruby overlay and did the details. Pardon the gloopy barrel, the overlay was still wet. I understand that. Sometimes we get a little bit overexcited. I am liking the highlighting on this. This is nice. I like it in red. It's real loud, but it's kind of a loud design, isn't it? What am I printing in the upper right corner? So, you can always hit !STL in chat to get a readout on that one, on anything that I've got going on my Neptune. Admittedly, today it's incorrect. I was printing the what's it called, hexagons of vegetation. Currently, I'm printing river hexes for Battletech, which is terrain that Vergaderung made that's for sale over on Steel Warrior Studios. But I'm expanding my Battletech table is what I'm doing. Only buy paint from a certain company. The other company I buy minis from are still reasonable by contrast. Once I get my new place, I'll probably print my own stuff. We're going to be talking a bit more about Mantic in the coming few months. I don't know if anybody here has ever played Mantic's Dead Zone. It's a great game, and if you haven't, you're going to get a chance to right here, because as we ramp up into doing monthly gaming streams, Dead Zone is a game that we're going to play live on stream, y'all versus me, a couple of times, because it uses a nice tight play area. Everything is run off of cubes rather than measurements, so it's actually like on a grid. It's much, much easier to do via teleplay than a lot of other games. It's simple, it's straightforward, it's fun, it's got some great factions, it's got some great models, and Mantic is releasing Dead Zone 3rd Edition next month. So I've already got my pre-order in for those rules, and once I get familiar with them, I am going to be running some games of it here on the stream. I mentioned it because Mantic is a great company. Mantic is a fantastic company. They charge reasonable prices for good quality model kits. I don't think that their models are like as great as Games Workshop, but nobody's is, because nobody can swing that much money at those molds. But yeah, if you guys are ever curious or ever finding yourself like, should I play a Mantic game? Shouldn't I play a Mantic game? They're a great company. It's definitely worth giving a shot. And I love Dead Zone. I really do. Gonna be painting some battle mechs soon. Old models from the 90s might need my advice. You know, the old models are definitely where I shine, Barkax. I love those classic unseen, man. Feel free to ask me anything you like. I'm more than happy to help. Loving the look of this test print. Wonderful work, Kursala. I continue to absolutely love this kind of dragon scale style. I think that it suits the red well, too, because like I said, dragon scale makes me think of... It has a bit of the red dragon look about it. I pop like a Karita decal on these guys. I don't know why I hadn't thought of it before, but yeah, a Karita decal on a red one of these guys next to like a samurai mech would work surprisingly well, I think, now that you put it in front of me. But that, folks, is going to bring us to the end of tonight's Storm Report. And in accordance with the prophecy, the end of tonight's stream. So who are we raiding? We gotta raid somebody. Who's doing what? Let's have a look. Oh, my PC's flipping out behind me. Hang on a second. Commander Mittens is going Megapedia's painting. Steep T is doing a little bit of work. Looks like Thick Mike's playing Apex Legends. Microtonal Matt is doing some programming. I'm thinking we might drop in on Commander Mittens. I'd love to go to somebody a little bit smaller, but Commander Mittens is pretty new. She's just very popular because she does fucking great work. Wait, is Barkax going? Hold up. No, that was a while ago. I was gonna say, like, I didn't think Barkax was actively streaming. Let's go ahead and get something going on over to Commander Mittens. She's a great painter. She does a kind of a more of a classical painting style than a lot of people do these days. Everybody's out here pushing like the crazy blends and the non-metallic metals. She is a very classic, like heavy metal before heavy metal got really, really heavy into edge highlights. She does a lot of really good work with true metallic metals. I honestly think that if you're a new painter, she's one of the better streamers to watch here on Twitch, because you're going to pick up a lot of really, really good tips on simple blending, true metallic metal effects, and effective contrast from her. Also, she's a wonderful person with a great community, so I hope you guys have fun over there. And I know a lot of you might be turning in for the night, but if you want to do me a favor, stick around for just a minute. Go with the raid. Check out Commander Mittens' stream. If you haven't been there yet, see if you like what's going on there. Consider dropping her a follow, because again, she's a great streamer, and you're absolutely not going to regret it. We are going to be back Sunday the 26th doing our single figure focus. We'll be busting back into the non-metallic metal oils on Sanguinius here, trying to get him close-ish to done. Maybe Tuesday the 28th we'll be doing more Conquest. Hopefully I'll have moved past the Men-at-Arms by then. God knows. Thursday, September the 30th. The plan is that we're going to stream a live skirmish of Warcaster Neo Mechanica on that day. It will be a test stream. It'll probably be a shit show. Either way, Hethra will be here. It promises to be a fun time. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Thank you to everybody who came out tonight. I'm running out of time. Thank you to my mods. You guys are fucking amazing. I'm gonna go get something to eat. So until next time, keep on painting.